Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. I hope everyone's having a great Sunday. It's stream time. Here we are. Joshio, hey man, thanks very much for the first today. Denton's here as well.
Incredible.
Adam gets third, which he's realised as well. Icy Ice is here as well. Aneos too. Snicket, hey man, good to see you. Perlin's here as well. Excited to see the raw W1-AT. Yeah, well I have two. I have a pink one and I have the raw one.
Tasty.
Gregory, thank you so much for the subscription, man. Thank you so much. That is 2 months. Thank you very much. So yeah, so I have two of them. You guys are going to get to pick which one we build today, and which switches we use, and which keycaps as well. So one's pink and one's raw. We'll take a look at those soon. Pink, maybe. The thing with pink is it's really hard to pick a key set for. Especially with the way I want to build this today. So I want to build this with a 10U spacebar because that's like the best way. But we might struggle to find a spacebar that matches a set that works with the pink one. We'll see. We'll see. We'll have a look in a bit. What are we printing? If you guys want to see, I could actually load up Fusion and show you. It's something very, very simple. If someone uses the Show Me, I'll load up Fusion and I'll get that into stream, so you guys can take a look. But yeah, you have to use the Show Me command for that. Right. Okay. My screen's going all over the place at the minute. There we go. Right, we're sorted. Aniki, hey man, good to see you, dude. I've still got some vintage keyboards I want to send you. Mel and I've been going through stuff over the past couple of weeks, and I know I mentioned this ages and ages ago, but we found them, and then we moved them, and then we took them away, and they got covered by some other stuff, and then we found them again the other day. So I will get those out to you soon. Yeah. So as I say, if you want to see what we're printing, I can show you here, but like if you actually want to see what it's going to look like when it's done, just use the Show Me command with your channel points, and I will show you. I will open up Fusion and show you exactly what it is. All pink theme. So I did look at that, and I could do it, but I haven't looked at the pink, and the problem with pinks is if you have two pinks that are similar, they tend to clash. They have to be quite different for it to work. So I don't know. We'll see. I haven't looked at these boards yet. I haven't even seen them in the flesh yet. So we'll see. Everyone lost their points in the subathon. Aeneas showed the redeem the Show Me. Okay. So Aeneas, do you want to see the do you want to see the monstrosity that I'm printing? Is that what you want me to do? Let me see if I can share Fusion. Hold on. Is that still linked to Fusion? Is that still linked to Fusion? No, hold on. Let me okay, that doesn't seem to want to work. What's going on with this? Hold on. Is that no? Okay, right, that doesn't seem to want to work. Let me re-add it. Why does that not want to work? Right, let me delete that and re-add it. Okay, right. Adding a new media source. Screen capture. New source. Fusion. Here we go. We'll get there. Okay. There we go. Now let's shrink that so you can actually see what I'm doing, and pop it here so it hides my face. So this is what we're doing. We've been making a badge holder. So this is for Matrix Labs badges. So if you remember when I was building the Matrix Labs badges a couple of weeks ago, so it's very, very simple. It's just a badge holder. It has a couple of cool features. So if I just put it on an angle and zoom in here. So if you look here, this little bit that I've selected there, that's for a magnet to sit on. The badge actually rests on here. The magnet holds it in place, and then we have like a little rocker panel here. So as you press if this is the shape of the magnet, and you press this top half in, it will kind of lift the bottom half out. So it kind of rocks on that point and that point. So it kind of teeters over like that. So you can lift the badge out, so you can get the badge out at the bottom. So that's what we're printing at the moment. This is actually the third version of it I've made. We've actually got the Matrix Labs logo in here as well, just embossed a little bit. The first one I made worked really well, but it didn't have that kind of like little flappy bit, so trying to get the magnets out was difficult. The second one I actually made this wall deeper, and then it was too deep, even though the flappy bit worked really well, it was too deep. So then I've just kind of reduced the height of this and printed it again, so it's just printing again now. I forgot to set it printing on Friday, so that's what we're doing. We've still got some work to do on the back. Albert is considering whether we could actually have this made properly and coated by Matrix Labs themselves. So Albert's actually actively investigating whether we could do that. So that's all it is. It's something simple, but yeah. Avoid Main, hello from Germany. Hey man, good to see you. You just showed you saw me. Yeah, I saw. Quagga redeemed coffee check. I don't know, but my latte art today is of the moon. Look, I've even got the craters and the pock marks in the moon. There you go. I didn't get much crema on it today, so the latte art was terrible. I apologize. You want to see the monstrosity?
Incredible.
It's not that bad. It's the dead simple box. Like, it's nothing amazing. We will catch up in a second. It's okay. I always catch up. Is today 10 new spacebar day? It is going to be 10 new spacebar. I did fix the thing. Yeah, I surprised you didn't add a finger cutout for getting an L on the badge. So I did have a look at doing that, and it just looked awful. No matter what I did with it, it just looked bad. Like, if this is going to be a display thing, that the idea is that we'll be able to hang it on a wall or whatever, and it will just hold the badges in, even if it's flat on the wall like a poster. Like, if you put it on the wall like the poster behind me, it'll still hold the badges in. So I didn't want to make it where it looked bad if it was going to be a display piece, and doing that made it look bad, so I didn't do it. Objective is, hey man, good to see you. You think the upper right slot is flipped? Maybe? Yeah, the upper right slot is flipped. It doesn't matter. It's only a 3D print. We're not actually going to make this one. We'll probably redesign it from the ground up. It's just a test piece anyway. It's fine. It doesn't matter that it's flipped. So yeah, yeah. Hopefully it'll come out well. We do have the other one, the other two prints that I did. This one we're printing in gold PLA. As you can see, the printers, that's live. The speed of the printer, that's how quick it goes. But the other ones were done in like a blue filament, which is fine. But we'll see how it comes out anyway. We'll see how it comes out. Cool. Okay. This coffee is not the Ethiopian one. No, the Ethiopian one we haven't actually opened. That's at home. That's not here. So I probably leave that one at home, I think. This is whatever Mel selected last week from our coffee selection. I don't know what it is because she didn't show me. She just opened the bag, put it in the machine, and then got rid of the bag. So, yeah. Have I tried Gesha coffee? No, I haven't. No. I'm not sure we can get that in the UK. I usually buy most of my coffee from Dog and Hat, so I order a subscription box each month. They sell me like a kilogram of coffee each month. That's pretty much what we use here at the workshop most of the time, and then if we need any more, I go to the local coffee shop and grab a big 2-kilogram bag of beans from there. So there we go. Is that a new mug? No, this is an old mug. This was actually hand-shaped by a friend of mine who works for the company that it's from. He made me 2 of these, and that is the shape of his hands there. It doesn't really work for my hands because he must have big hands, but that's the shape of his hands. So it kind of isn't very, it's kind of really irregular, but it's fun. He made 2 of them. One's got stripes on. These are hand painted as well, so he painted the dots on these one. And speaking of dots, how good was that segue? Speaking of dots, in stock right now, you can buy GMK dots. Did you know that? And it's on special offer for 2 days until Tuesday at 6 PM UK time. It's 10% off. There you go. Thanks, Adam, for the segue.
Incredible.
GMK Dandy is also in stock. Designed by Sour, who also designed this desk mat, which is also in stock. There you go. There you go. Okay. Nice segue. I don't think you pronounce it that way. I don't think you spell it that way. I think it's S-E-G-U-E. I think. Anyway. Yeah. So let's get on to PT News and then we can start on with the build. So PT News, GMK Dots Round 2 and the Rama Caps and the desk mats are back in stock. There is limited stock available for them. They are 10% off until Tuesday. If you want to pick them up, especially the Ramas, like we found a bag of the Ramas that we didn't even know we had. So there is quite a few of those available. I think there's like 10 of each colorway, or there was. Maybe there's less now, I don't know. So if you are interested in those, you can pick them up. GMK Dandy by the amazing Sour. Sour is one of the best designers in the hobby for key sets and desk mats. Dandy and Daisy based kits are both in stock, as well as the accent keys and everything else. And the desk mats went back into stock too. So definitely go check those out. plus everything else that we've got in stock, because we've got a ton of stuff in stock right now. And as I say, that Dandy and Daisy and Dots are both 10% off until Tuesday at 6 p.m. In terms of other news, we were expecting a container to arrive at port last week. We believe it did. We believe it's been taken off the ship, and we believe it contains Ginkgo, Zoom 65EE, Icky Aurora Round 2, and some other bits and pieces as well. Quite a lot of stuff. I think it's a full 40-foot container that we had booked, so there's like 16 pallets on there, something like that. The issue we have now is all of the staff at the Felixstowe port have gone on strike as of 7 o'clock this morning. That means I have no idea what's happening to our container. It may arrive this week like we had planned. It may not. It depends on how far through the clearance process it's got. If it's been moved out of the port and into one of the bonded warehouses, we should be okay. If it hasn't, then it's going to be another week to 10 days before we even hear anything. The sad news about this is I will get billed for the storage it takes up. So I'm completely not in control of how much I'm going to get billed for this. And it's usually about 500 quid a day for a container. So I'm kind of hoping that this is resolved very quickly, whilst at the same time I'm very, very supportive of the people at Felixstowe who are striking because of the lack of pay rise and the lack of pay that they're actually receiving. I do think that they need to be treated better, and of course working conditions is a big thing. But I'm hoping for you guys and for us that that container arrives sooner rather than later, purely because there's a ton of stuff we want to put in stock. We want to get a load of group buy orders out. We just want to get you guys your stuff quicker, that's all. So need to bear that in mind. The Icky 68 Aurora R2 will be in stock after we get this container in. So we'll ship out the group buy orders and then we'll put it in stock and it will be available to buy in stock. Cherry Taro is in this container as well. So do take a look at that. And wait for it. Tomo Han Solo, yeah, Tomo is in this container as well. Now for Tomo, we do have the PCBs, we do have the plates, we do have the gaskets and everything else. We have those here at the workshop. We're just waiting on the cases. So we'll see. That's the thing. Kind of sucks that the people who get affected aren't the ones who can make a change to the workers' conditions. Yeah, but that's the point, right? Because then the people who can change the workers' conditions will, you know, get complaints from their customers, and that will drive them to make the change that the workers deserve, right? That's the whole idea behind it. If you seize the means to production or to distribution, as this is, then eventually the companies behind it will capitulate because they're getting so much pressure from other areas. That's the whole idea behind this. And I don't think they're asking for much. They're just asking for wages to match inflation. I don't think that's a big thing. I think that's pretty fair, especially considering how much the ports charge. Because I get the port bills in quite often, I know how obscene those charges are. And as I say, for a container in a bonded warehouse, it's about £500 per day. You get 4 days free, and then it's £500 per day. And weekdays, bank holidays, whatever, it doesn't count. You still have to pay it. Okay, so I'm hoping that we will get them soon, but I will keep Notion updated as soon as I hear anything. I've reached out to our shipping company. It's the weekend, so they won't reply today, but I'm hoping they'll reply tomorrow during the day, or if not Tuesday at the very latest. And as soon as I get an update on that, I'll put it on Notion. But yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. Alaric says Kiwi says he's already ordered his dandies, and says that segue. I think it's spelled segue, I think. Anyway, Alaric says, ever tried Dunkin' Donuts coffee beans? They smell so good, but the taste is kind of lacking anything punchy. Okay, so there is a little bit of a secret to Dunkin' Donuts here in the UK. Here in the UK, their coffee doesn't actually smell of anything and tastes pretty bad. But tasty. But I'm going to get to the subscriptions in a second, guys. Let's finish this and I'll get to subscriptions. But what they do is they actually flood the store with a fake scent of coffee and a fake scent of baked goods. Because most of the franchises of Dunkin' Donuts here in the UK don't actually bake their donuts on site. They actually get them shipped in each morning. I know because we've got a Dunkin' Donuts that's literally 5 minutes from my house, and some people I know quite well in the car scene, they actually are aware of where the Dunkin' Donuts was built and the people complain around it. And we actually have a car meet up there every couple of weeks. So, yeah. I'm kind of aware of that, and it's kind of funny. That's why their coffee always smells really good in the shop, but it doesn't taste anywhere near as good as it is because you're not actually smelling the coffee they're making. So don't buy coffee from Dunkin' Donuts, but do buy the donuts. It's above LTT level. Thanks, man. Thanks, guys. I just bought one set of darts and a bunch of desk mats. Thanks for 10% off. You are welcome, man. I bet dots in a heartbeat if I wasn't stupid broke. I feel it, man. I feel that. I'm having to sell my keyboard collection at the minute because I don't earn much money from prototyping, so it's £763 a month. That's the only income I have personally, and my wife has just been made redundant, so I've been selling a load of my personal keyboard collection, just to give us some cash to get through the next couple of months until she finds a job. I love both sets, but just don't have GMK money. That's fair, man. Not everyone does. How can they justify that, though? Not your fault for the strike. The company would say it's not their fault either, right? Kish, hey man, good to see you. Thank you so much for popping by last week. For those of you who don't know, Kish came by last week for a couple of days, and he was an absolute gent, so thank you very much for popping by. Storsless, thank you so much for 16 months, currently on a 16-month streak. Is it really 16 months since we started streaming on this channel? That's crazy. A very big container. Yeah, it's a full 40-foot container, so yeah, we'll see. Gonna be so broke after the extras from this container drop. Yeah. Onyx isn't in this container, right? No, Onyx is in the one behind it that's just set off this week. I think the thing is, I'm waiting for an update from the shipping company. I don't know if it's set off on Friday or if it sets off on Tuesday this week, because there was 2 options and we were looking at it for different ships. So I'm not sure whether they got it into the one that's left on Friday or whether it's the one that's leaving on Tuesday. I'll find out tomorrow. So once I know, again, I'll update Notion and we'll be able to track it. My cart will be so full once these new products drop. Long PP switches too. Long PP switches are the best. Fluffy Keeps, thank you so much for the 13 months of Subman. Currently on 12-month streak. Thank you so much, dude. That's a whole year. That just sounds big brain. Wait, what? Wait, what? Yeah. Dunkin' Donuts, cheeky sods. Yeah, just don't, like, the donuts from Dunkin' Donuts are exceptionally good. And that's probably because of all the crap they put in them. But the coffee's terrible. Don't buy the coffee from there. The Dunkin' reveal was crazy. Yeah, the things they don't want you to know. The things they don't want you to know. Sarah G man, hey man, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for your emails last week. I'm scared for what else is on the container. My purse, there's loads of stuff. I don't have a full list to hand. There is literally maybe 20 tons of stuff. It is crazy. Like the container was full weight capacity. They actually had to stop putting stuff into it and leave it for the next container because like the container was full and they couldn't put any more weight in it, because weight containers have both like a volumetric weight that they're allowed to take and then like a physical weight as well. So you have to work out which you're going to hit first, and we hit the physical weight before we hit the volumetric weight. So there it is. Hey up Jay, hope you well. Hey man, good to see you. Onyx being best friends with Ayla. Ayla is in the same ship as Onyx as well, so yeah, it's either set off on Friday or it's setting off on Tuesday. Don't know which ship it got on, so yeah, we'll find out soon. Confrontation, hey man, good to see you. I'm good, thanks. Everything is a big fat scam. Got down the rabbit hole, crazy. Yeah. Krispy Kreme, no, Krispy Kreme donuts aren't as good. Sorry, but they're not. Sojaman says, saw Datsun 620 drive through my road today. Thought of you. It's a beautiful burnt orange. Looks pristine. That's awesome, man. There's like 10 620s in the UK, maybe 15 at a push. I know most of the owners. I don't know of an orange one though. I know of 2 in my color. One's the same as mine in blue. I know of a couple in beige. There's one in grey. There's a couple being repainted. There's one that's completely raw and has been clear coated over the raw metal, and then there's a green one, which I think is for sale still, and then there's a couple of others as well. There's a red one, which Jake Cornforth, one of my friends, owns, or I say friends, an acquaintance owns. So yeah, camera's looking a little dark today. Yeah, new cable for the camera, and it's messed up all the settings, and I couldn't get it. I'm gonna sneeze. I can feel it coming. Yeah, new cable for the camera because it stopped working, so I went out and got another one from Morrison's. I don't think the cable is as good as the one we usually use, so I'll have to order another one, but it's changed the camera settings. Don't know why. I'll fix them for next week. Don't tell me the government owns all the birds too. Well, you've ruined that surprise now. This is Daniel from Keyboardholic. Hey man, good to see you. Thank you so much for what you do and being a trusted vendors of keyboard and supplies. No worries, man. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you. Krispy Kreme original glaze all day. Sneeze cam zoom. No, we won't do that. We won't do that. Right, so that is the PT news. Containers, don't know what's happening. Felix Stowe, don't know what's happening. Container shipping from China, it was either Friday or it leaves on Tuesday. Don't know which yet. We'll find out. I think this one's going to take about 5 weeks to get here, but we'll see. There is a potential chance that some of the stuff, if it didn't go on Friday, will actually get airshipped to us, which would be Ayla and Onyx, but that's like a 5% chance that happens. Like, it's such a small chance, I shouldn't really mention it because it probably won't, but only because we're airshipping one other thing over. So we'll see. It depends on the rates, but and if it hasn't gone, so we'll see. Right, okay, W1-ATs. let me show you the boards, guys, and then you can decide which one we're going to build. So Armar will get a poll ready in a little bit for whether we build the pink W1-AT or whether we build the raw W1-AT. But I'm going to show you guys the boards first. You guys can make a decision on which one we build. Then you can choose which switches we use, and then you can choose at the end which keycaps we're going to put on the board as well. Okay, I'm going to put my coffee to one side. Right. First thing I want to show you, actually, it is keycap related. These are the 10 new keycaps that came, that I ordered with the board. They're pretty cool. So you've got traditional Sea Black, you've got a Dolce, you've got a beige mod color, and then you've got 3 different kind of white ones. They're slightly different tones by the looks of them, but they should fit with any OG set or any white set, I hope. So we'll see how those go. But these are 10 new space-bars. I don't think they're DCS. It doesn't look like they're made by Signature Plastics. Don't know where these are made. They look okay. We're probably going to use one of these for the build today. Okay, some tadpoles did fall out of the box. I don't know which one they're from. We'll take a look at the tadpoles later on. And here we have the first box. These boxes are pretty chunky. They are SP, are they? They don't look like my other SP ones. So these have a different cut for the spacebar wire. When we put these on the board, I'm going to go get another board that I know has an SP spacebar in it, that's telling you. Because these don't look quite the same from my memory. So we'll get one and we'll compare it. We'll have a look. We'll compare it. Yeah, we'll compare it and we'll have a look. They don't look the same, but I could be wrong by my memory. I could be wrong. I'm more than happy to be proven wrong, and we'll get it right. So this is the first one. Krispy Kreme domain. Are you guys actually voting on that? Hold on, hold on. You guys are all wrong. You guys are all wrong. Anyway, what do we have here? Turn it around. So we actually have some text. It says Geon Works was launched by GMI as one of the brands of Geon. Geon Machinery Industry, which is what GMI stands for, is a design and manufacturing company under Sangwoo Precision, a CNC expert company operated by Geon for more than 20 years and has been in operation since 2012. Thank you so much, Dev Panda, for 6 months of subs in advance. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. Wow. So I assume what that means is that the Sangwoo Precision Company has been going for 20 years and Geon Machine Industry has been going since 2012. GMI has been designing and manufacturing custom keyboards since 2018 and met with Blair, a keyboard designer, in 2020 to create and nurture the Geon Works brand together. Nice. Our slogan advocates a design that is faithful to the fundamentals of design with functionality. We are constantly working to provide our customers with mechanical keyboards with messages like this, and we are taking the necessary steps with research and development as well. Nice. Then it also says Lorem Ipsum Dolostit Amet, consecutor. So it's got the standard Lorem Ipsum text here. This is good. This is quite funny. Look, can you read that the bottom paragraph? Lorem Ipsum Dolostit Amet. That's kind of like placeholder text. That's kind of fun. Okay, but that's nice. It's nice. What's this? That sounds like keycaps. Wait, did I order a spacebar kit and it comes with a spacebar kit? Did I mess up? I think they just forgot to remove it. Yeah, what you usually find is when they're doing like placeholdering and stuff, they'll put that kind of text in before you have the final copy. Did I buy a set of 10 new spacebars thinking these didn't come with them and then it did come with them? Is that what's happening? So the good news is, guys, I have lots of 10 new spacebars now. Okay, typical. Just my luck. That's me not reading it right when I bought these. Okay. I do like the packaging, I've got to say. Imagine not reading the product page. I know, customers are the worst, right? Okay, so I don't know which colour this one is. I didn't look at the outside of the box, but this is the first one. This keyboard does have an option for a 10 new spacebar, yeah. Okay, I'm just going to try and move it this way. I don't want to clatter with my keyboard. There we go. Okay, so we've got, well, we've got a load of tadpoles. We've got the pink ones, some more turquoise ones, some of the grey ones, some more of the turquoise ones, Oh, they're feet. Let's leave them in here. That's screws. And we have the red ones. As well as that, we have a PCB. There we go. Let's pop that to one side. Yankar designed, I believe, these PCBs as well. Let's have a look. Yeah, Yankar designed. There's Yankar's logo, just there. 3 cubes. So there we go. We have 2 PCBs. I don't know if that means both PCBs are in here. I don't remember ordering an extra one. We have feet, and we have screws. I'll leave these in here just in case we build this one or the other one. We have a pack of silica gel, which we don't need. And then oh, interesting. So this is the, are these the plates? I thought this was plateless. Is this just an alignment tool or something? What are these? Oh, it's the assembly plates. Ah, yeah, okay. So this is the assembly plate. So you can use this, designed by Yankar, assembly plate. So it's to get the alignment in, and then you can snap off the ends and slide them out afterwards. That's pretty cool. I like that. That's very clever. I like that. Yeah, so the tadpoles are like silicone screws. Instead of screwing the plate or the PCB into the top of the case, you use these tadpoles to hold it in place by pressure. So they're kind of like little rubber grommets, and the different colours negate different durometer of the silicone that they've used, so it's like firmer or softer. These are cool. I'm a big fan of these. I assume that's foam that just goes in the bottom. Yeah, look at that. Nice bit of foam. Okay, so the plate alignment tool's pretty cool. I like that. That's good. I didn't realise it came with those either. Yeah, it's just FR4. FR4 alignment tools. I like it. Keep everything nice and straight and square. Good idea. Okay, so we have those. I'll pop that back in there just in case we build this one. And let's see which colour this one is. So this one is the pink one. Oh gosh, that's heavy. This is the pink board. Oh, that's a nice pink. Okay, that's a nice pink. Look at that. That's a really nice pink. Geomworks logo at the back. I thought that was laser etched for a second. It's not. That's actually milled in and then coloured in differently. That's a nice pink. That's a really nice pink. The weight on the base. You can see they've got the feet that cover the screws. That's pretty cool. Look how long this thing is though. This is huge. This is huge. Numpad, macro keys, 60%. That's kind of crazy. Okay, so that's the pink board. A little bit rough on the edges of the machining on the inside, but it's internal, so I don't mind that. Everything external though is really nice. Smooth, nice texture. It's going to pick up the dirt, but that's lovely. That's really nice. Consistent in the colour. The weight's good as well. It's chunky, yeah. Okay, so that's the first one. That's the first one of these 2 boards that I have. You guys will get to pick which one we build. The next one to show you is the raw one. I do feel like I'd struggle for a key set for this pink one though. It is, it's really heavy. Yeah, once we finished building one, I'll weigh it. Okay, so that's the pink one. Let's put this away. I'm just going to put one of the PCBs away in here as well, just in case it's not this one that we build. Oh, pink on navy is a great shout. How did I not think of that? I don't actually own a set of pink on navy though. I never bought one, but I could buy one off the store, I suppose. I do have Bingsu. Dandy would look nice. Yeah, it would look nice actually. That would probably work quite well. Okay, so that's the first one. Now it's time to take a look at the second one. Let me have a sip of coffee. So, I actually have 2 sets of GMK muted oxy. The issue is they're both on other boards, so I didn't have time before the stream to take it off because I did look at muted. I was like, do I take that off? GMK fundamentals actually would look really good with that, with just the base with no accents. That would look really good, actually. That would look really good. Right, let's take a look at the raw one. So again, we've got the same box. This also has the lorem ipsum text. Just being missed. Another set of space bars. Great. I should have read that properly. Oh well. I have 3 sets of 10U spacebars now. I have all the 10U spacebars I will ever need. Okay. Bands are good. Hey man, good to see you, dude. I hope you're doing well. Okay, so this one should be the raw one. Let's see what we've got in here. Let's see if we've got any more tadpoles first. Let's have a look. Okay, so there is a PCB in this one. There is no tadpoles in this one. There's just the PCB and the plate alignment tools. Oh, here we go. This looks special. You want to buy the pink? I really like the pink now I've seen it. Oh. So this is the raw one. Let me just put this up here. There we go. So I should really put gloves on for this one, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Will it oxidize? So yes, it will. Yes, it will. But I think if I do build the raw one, I'm just gonna leave it as it is and let it oxidize. I kind of don't mind that. I do like the machine marks on this one though. Look at this. I'm gonna be trying my really hardest not to touch that brass. There is a couple of fingerprints on it that are not mine already. Look at this. Can you see the mill marks there? Look how it looks like an X or like triangles at the top of the board. This is cool as hell. Completely raw aluminium. You can see all the mill lines on the inside. Look at those triangles. You can see those triangle shapes at the top, just where the light hits it. Just where my elbow is here, look. But on the board, can you see that? This is cool. Flip it over. The brass. That's pretty cool. Okay. That does mean that it's time for Omar to get another poll up. And you guys need to decide which of these 2 boards we're going to build. Are we going to build the raw one, or are we going to build the pink one? The pink turns out really nice. So Omar, where are you, Omar? Get the poll ready. Or tell me you're busy and you can't. You don't really dig the raw alloy. I think it depends. Like, it's not for everyone. But, you know. Omar will be getting a poll up in a second, I hope. I'm going to get the poll ready myself, just in case it's not. I think he must have stepped away, because he's not doing it. Right, okay. Okay, poll is up. Poll is up. Pick which one you want to see me build. We could play marbles in the winning sides. Maybe we'll do that for switches, Voidman. Maybe we'll do that for switches. But there you go. Poll is up. Pick which one you want to see built. Pink or raw. This is the raw. It does look really good. Like it's so hard to show you the mill marks on it, but they are there. They're like little chevrons. They're so cool, where the tools passed over it in both directions. Vintage Kish, what we're printing at the moment, we're printing a 3rd version of our Matrix Labs badge holder. I think you might have seen the other prototypes earlier on. It's just printing the supports on the inside at the moment. You can see the marks? Nice. Jim K. Darling on the pink board with blush switches. I don't have blush switches to hand. I do have some Eneos, actually, if you're still in chat, Eneos. Look what I found for you. Look what I found for you. You asked for these the other day, and I found them. So there you go. There is 80. So if you would like them, message Mel, because I know you wanted those. So there we go. Won't be able to see them once it's built though. You'll see the mill lines. They're on here. No, it's not inside that I'm talking about. It's on this front edge. Look. So it's here. Can you see them here? Look, there's like diagonal lines. It's really hard to make sure that the camera picks them up, but there's like diagonal lines. It's pretty cool. It's pretty special. I like this a lot. Like little mountains is, yeah, like it's like little cross shapes. I know you can see all of these ones on the inside. They're really obvious, but it's the miniature ones on here that haven't quite been polished out. Shiny. It is shiny, yeah. It is really heavy, yeah, Han Solo. We'll weigh it towards the end of the stream once it's built, whichever one we build. But I think they're the same weight. I don't think there's any difference in the weight of them, but they're pretty chunky, yeah.
Tasty, tasty.
Lot of Toast, thank you so much for the Prime sub, man. Thank you so much. Well, it looks like the raw one's winning at the minute. I've chucked my vote in. The pink was fire. The pink is fire. The pink is fire. You need to polish it once it's done. Maybe. It's a long boy. It's longer than a TKL, yeah, by quite some distance. Like a TKL is like that, and then it's got all of this on the side as well. Come on, Team Pink. Do you know what? I'm torn on which one I want to see built today. I'm torn. I don't know which one I want to build. I think I'll struggle for a keycap set with the pink one today specifically. Like, I think I'd just dig out muted after the stream and use that on it 100%. But if it helps, this is the keycap sets that I selected today. So we do have Analog Dreams. You're not picking the keycap set yet, but this is just to bear in mind. I picked Skydolch because Skydolch is great. It's such a good set. I picked Shoko because Shoko should go with either of these. And then just as an outsider, I picked, because we were talking about it in the chat the other day, GMK Hammerhead Dark. I do have DMG, yeah. I do have DMG. I could get DMG. Analog Dreams for the pink. If pink wins, we'll 100% put Analog Dreams on it, I think. Not enough people left to vote. I don't know. People could throw points at it. My Dots R2 comes tomorrow. Nice, Stevie. Nice, congrats. I think most of them got delivered on Friday and Saturday. There are about 15 orders still to be delivered on Monday, I think. And extras can be bought from today. They're in stock right now if you want to pick them up. And we'll start shipping those on Tuesday or Wednesday. Make sure you place the daughterboard cable. Hey, Socialite. Hey, man. Good to see you, dude. I hope you're doing well, dude. We haven't caught up in ages. We should jump in voice chat at some point soon, Sol. Make sure you place the daughterboard cable a bit high up or cut off the heat shrink around it. My M key was giving off a pinging noise. What happened was a cable was pressing the PCB up and making it vibrate against the top housing. Oh, interesting. Okay, I'll definitely keep an eye out for that, Sol. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, because M's going to be around here, right? Well, at the front, but it's going to be around here. So you wouldn't want to make sure that the cable sits at the top. Yeah, there isn't much room for the cable looking at it. There's very little room in here. Yeah, okay. I'll definitely bear that, man. Thank you, Sol. That's a great shout. I have to replace the switch for my E key. Nice. You know, Northern Ireland, that's what. Yeah, some of the international orders, I think, were the ones that were taking a bit longer. Yeah. It's weird to say that Northern Ireland is now international since the whole Brexit thing. I know you're not actually, you're still part of the UK, but shipping there has been so weird since Brexit happened because of all the rules for Ireland. It's so strange. It's so weird. Right, Raw 1, there we go. Stick it. I did promise you earlier on. I'm a bit sad to say that I'm going to do it, but yeah, if you want to reach out to Mal, we'll sort something out if you are interested. Yeah, okay. Right. Because I did promise. Right, okay, so we're going to build the raw one today. Let's get the tools out that we need. Just hop on a boat. So simple. Why did I not think of that? Why did I not think of that? So simple. Life is so much easier when you have people that have that kind of idea confrontation. Nice. Is maintenance a pain? It depends. Like, it depends on how you feel about raw materials. So I have multiple raw keyboards. I've got quite a few prototypes that we've had made in raw. Like when we prototyping, for example, when we did the JL1 Rev 1, the first prototype we got was completely raw because there was no point. Like, we were testing fitment, we were testing alignment, we were testing suitability, we were testing all of that kind of stuff. So James and I walked it through, and we didn't bother getting it anodized. We just got it raw because it was just easier. For other things, we tend to get them anodized, like just usually black, unless we're specifically testing colors at that point, and we usually will then get to prototype. So like with an AOS where we've been developing the revised JO2 Blackout Edition, which we've rebuilt from the ground up, we've actually changed it. We got the first prototype in, and we've changed some stuff from that. So we started to rebuild it up a couple of months ago. We got the prototype in like 3 weeks ago, I think, and we changed literally on Friday. Mel and I put it together, and we just decided to change a ton of stuff. So but we did get that one anodized. It's sat behind me. We did get that one anodized because we wanted to test out the blacks. So we're testing out the colors at the same time. So it really depends, but I do have quite a few keyboards that are not anodized or coated or anything, and they are raw. And it really depends on how fastidious you are. If you accept that it's going to get patina, it's going to change over time. It's going to become... Oh, Freakologic, thank you so much for the 5 tier 1 subs. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. That means the world to me. Thank you so much. Yeah, you've already got the changes in hand, Danaos. I know you have. We changed like the whole way the top piece fits together. That's pretty chunky. Thank you so much, dude. Thank you. So yeah, so I have quite a few unfinished keyboards, and as long as you accept that patina is going to happen over time, it's okay. If you're one of the people that's really fastidious about stuff and want things to look clean constantly, then perhaps you want something that's coated. That's all I would say. But raw's pretty cool because we could take this and get it Cerakoted any color we want. I've actually got some Cerakoting gear. It's potentially a service we're going to start offering soon here in the UK, Cerakoting keyboards. Potentially, I'm not promising that. It depends on how well it goes with the oven and stuff that hasn't turned up yet. We'll see. But we could start to potentially coat these and do different things with them. So it really depends on what type of person you are. If you want something that's super clean and going to keep a coating that you can just wipe down, absolutely. If you want something that's going to patina and change with time and show its age and show its use, then raw materials are fine. It really depends on which side of that fence you sit. Personally, I don't mind. I kind of like a bit of patina, especially on brass when it goes black or copper when it goes blue. It really depends on the different individual. Aluminium tends to get like a white dusty effect onto it. That's just completely normal. You can polish it back up with a bit of brasso and a bit of cloth, and it'll come back nice. It really depends on how fastidious you want to be. But if you did want to keep it nice and clean, I'd recommend cleaning it once, getting it perfect, clear coating it, and then going from there. Freakologic says, hi Jay, taking a look at your Discord after the stream, wrote you a message regarding cooperation, thanks. Thanks man, I appreciate that. I think I have like 400 DMs to get through, so it won't be after the stream, but I will get back to you. It might take me a couple of days to try and get through stuff, but I will get back to you. But thank you so much. Patina is called a cultured key, my guy, 100%. Coffee check. I don't know what coffee we're drinking today. Mel picked it. We did have a nice bit of latte out on it, but it's kind of gone into the coffee now. We had the moon on it today. We did the moon because it's that easy. I don't know which coffee this is. Mel picked it, so I don't know. Right, okay. Let's just catch up with chat. Socialite said, yeah, I haven't been able to catch you live in a long time. Which PCB thickness are you going for? I think we only have one PCB thickness here. It doesn't say on it, but it feels quite thin. I'm going to guess this is 1.2, just from the flex of it. Unless it says on it somewhere I can't see. I don't see where it says, but I think this is 1.2. It feels like it's 1.2 millimeter. I mean, in fact, I'm almost certain it is. I'm almost certain it is. Right, let's flip over camera, and then you guys can see what I'm doing. I can just imagine having a white on black or black on white and knowing it's a keyboard that will change over time, for sure. Could just have them plated. Yeah, because I build classic cars in my spare time. We have a lot of stuff plated quite often. Oh, it comes with shims. That's cool. I like that. So for those who don't know, these are stabilizer shims. We'll come on, camera, please. Camera, come on. We'll have to snap these out of the. These look like they're FR4. They are FR4. That's cool. These are FR4 shims. We'll snap them out, and they will go under our stabilizers. And what they will do is they'll make the stabilizer and PCB thickness with these together correct for the stabilizer thickness. But I do think I have some 1. Oh no, I don't. No, I don't. I thought I had some 1.2 millimeter stabilizers. I don't. I have 1.6. I'm looking at the stack here. Okay, so there we go. And we should have the little daughter board here as well. There it is. Cool. Okay, this is interesting. These are Heine ones, which I actually have a ton of. I think I have a ton of Heine ones here. Maybe not. No. Okay, I do have a ton of Heine ones lying around here in the workshop, just in general. But there's the Heine ones. And the PCB is actually designed by Yankar. There's his little logo, Yankar, and well, his little thing and the logo on the front. There we go. Okay. So next up, we need to decide what layout we're going to build this. I think we should build this ISO, purely because it supports it, and we're going plateless. Oh wait, does it support ISO? Yes, it does support ISO. I had to check. Okay, so it supports ISO, so we're going to build the ISO layout. We're going to have the full numpad. We're going to go for the full stabilizers on this side. We're going to go for the full 0. We're going to go for the 10U spacebar. And we're going to go for split left shift. So we need backspace, ISO enter. We'll split right shift as well, because I like to do that on a 60%, which is technically what the middle bit is. So we need backspace, ISO enter. We need numpad plus, numpad enter, numpad 0, and 10U spacebar. So we need 6 stabilizers. This is a big build. Split backspace? No, I don't like to split backspace. Not unless I have to. Not unless I have to. PT Serico. Don't, Kiwi, don't. No, I'm not promising it. I'm saying that I'm personally dabbling with it for my own projects. I'm not promising it yet. We'll see. We'll see. We're massively lacking affordable Cerakote services here in the UK, so that'd be cool. I'm not promising anything. Like, I'm just literally playing around with my own stuff at the minute. That's all I'm doing. I have some of my own projects, mostly car related, that I want to Cerakote instead of powder coat. But if it works well and the finish is good, maybe we will offer it. We'll see. No promises yet. Let's see. No pink build. What will I do with myself? I'm sorry, Timothy. I'm sorry. It's likely because I never intended to keep both of these. I wanted to build one on stream and give you guys a chat. I wanted to see the pink, but it's likely that I'm probably going to sell the pink because I don't need 2 of these. And with my wife being made redundant, myself making next to no money out of PT, I kind of need to make sure I'm not overexerting myself with my personal keyboard collection. And thank you for the sub as well, Timothy. I appreciate that. Dev Panda says a copper keyboard case. Yeah, we have some copper keyboards. Navy Tsukiyomi is so clean. If only I wasn't broke. It's on sale. It'll never be this cheap again. It does support. It does, yeah. Stevie P says, oh, right. We're not even going to get into the build here because now this is something that's really important to me. Stevie P says, I have a... he doesn't say which mark. He says, I have a Mark Escort Estate. So you need to tell me which mark it is. I bet it's Mark 4. Should I stay classic or should I put a small block Chevy motor in it? Right, okay. As much as I love a small block Chevy motor, I've got a 5.8 litre Chevy small block in my GMC C10. K1500, it's the same as a C10. Which is a great motor. But a Ford shouldn't have anything. Do you know what you should do? In my honest answer to this is if you've got... I'm going to guess it's a Mark IV Escort Estate. I would put a Ford Pinto engine in it. One of the 2.8 litre Ford Pinto engines with the turbo on it. That's what I would go for. Because they're a great engine. They sound good. They run nice. And it's more akin to what the car should have. Split backspace. No, we're going to go full backspace. Full backspace. I should be talking about stuff whilst we're... Right, I need to make sure I've got enough stabilizers here. Right, okay, so we've got some white stabilizers here. We need one for backspace. Oh, let me flip the camera's background. I do like to talk cars. One for backspace. I'm going to lube these up in a second. One for ISO enter. We've got one for numpad enter. One for numpad 0. We'll use this one for the spacebar, but obviously we'll replace the wire with one that's correct size. That's that full set done. So we need another white set. Let's hope we've got another white set here. Yeah. We need one more. There we go. For the numpad plus key. Okay. Right, so that's our stabilizers. Let's split these down and then let's start to lube them up and put them together. Is JO4 still in development? No, is the short answer to that. I kind of had a half idea for how it would work a year or so ago. Given the current market, no. And I've actually changed how I want to approach the JO2 as well. So we're going to do a revision of the JO2 very soon. It's going to be the Blackout Edition. It's going to be pre-order only, which means we're going to have them in production before we start to sell them. But it's going to be limited significantly more than I'd planned to previously. So before we were going to do 200 units. Given the current climate and the way things are in the keyboard hobby and the way that manufacturing is taking so long, I'm going to limit it to just 50 units. So there's only going to be 50 of the JO2 Blackout Edition. I'm dropping that bombshell now for the first time. If anyone is really interested in it, then watch out because we will announce a form where you can register your interest, but it will be limited to 50 and we'll probably raffle those spots off. Just bear that in mind. Rhodium plated keyboards for the rich kids. Yeah, that's not happening. Don't start talking about sending boards in for Sarah. I haven't promised it yet. Mark II Esco. Okay, I'd still put a Pinto engine in it. Still put a Pinto engine. Cheese Lover says, why are the Dandy extras on sale? Just curious, because all the group buy orders have shipped, so we put them in stock. We have Dandy here. There's no point in us keeping and sitting on it. All of the group buy orders have shipped. They were sent on Friday, so it's now in stock. That's how it works, Cheese Lover. No, I don't mind engine swapping. I have multiple cars with engine swaps. It's fine. I'm US based, but I'm considering it due to sell. Yeah, 10% off is only for the next 2 days, today and tomorrow. Finishes at 6 PM on Tuesday. Okay, I have other escorts which are BDA, BDG engines and already, so might spice things up with the Mark II estate. Okay, fair enough. Just whack a Cosworth YBT. Good luck finding a Cosworth YBT that's in good condition that you know the history of. That's all I'll say. 50 with a raffle is scaring me. It's just I don't want people to like I don't know how the market is for the board for a start off. Like, it's been so long since we ran the first one. I think we're going to do 50 units. We'll probably split it 25 and 25 US and rest of the world or something like that. I don't know. Need to work it through. I'm not sure if it'll just be through PT or through another vendor as well. Again, need to work it all through. But as soon as the next prototype comes in, as long as that works, which I'm going to order tomorrow, as long as that's fine, then I think we're just going to do like a 50 limited once I've got them into production. We'll see how it goes. Dandy extras probably won't ship tomorrow. They're probably going to be Tuesday or Wednesday. The JO2 is a 60% that we ran originally a couple of years back. You can probably just Google JO2 60% geekhack and it'll come up. Oh no, I just dropped a massive blob of lube. If you've finished the changes in EOS, yeah. If you haven't, then we'll do it when you finish the changes. Let's catch up tomorrow in EOS and see where you're up to. Okay, so this is a little bit tight. I thought when we spoke late last week in EOS that you'd done the changes. I haven't had a look at them yet, but I'll have a look at where we're up to and I'll see. If you haven't, don't rush, no worries. We'll sort it out. Why are there so many group buys in August? Can't decide what to get. The Promise 87, the Shelby 80, Win 98, and the Link 65. I mean, I'm going to vote for the Promise 87 and the Link 65 because they're on PT, right? And that's my store, so I'm going to vote for those. When is the JO1 coming back? So we're working on it, Cheese Lover. The JO1 will be coming back. Again, it will be a very limited amount of units available. Probably going to limit it to 50 again. And we're going to do that in 2 colorways, which will be released soon. One will be blackout. The other one I'll release in due course. Expect those towards late summer. Again, we'll do it on pre-order, so I want to make sure that we've actually got the prototypes ordered and we've actually got the boards in production before we sell it. So sorry, I say late summer, I mean late winter. It's probably going to be early next year now. We'll see, maybe before, it depends. Okay, so that's one done. What size brush is this? This is a size 0 brush. I said to fix some parts. I'm scratching my head on the other part. We'll sit down tomorrow in EOS and we'll find half an hour to go through it. I know how I want you to fix it and what I want you to change, so if you're struggling, I'll walk you through it. So pricing, I'm not ready to talk about pricing yet, True Blaze, for the Link 65. We are aiming to have it cheaper than US price in dollars plus VAT, but like I'm not going to promise anything until tomorrow. We're actually finalizing the prices tomorrow with Owl Labs. Once we've done that, I'll then announce it. It'll be announced on the Discord server, and we'll also update the link at the top of the page in the banner that rolls on the prototypist.net website with the price. So, yeah. I'm not quite ready to promise anything on that yet, so I don't want to say something now and then not be able to stick to it. But I'll be looking at it in depth tomorrow morning. But we want you guys to be able to have a good deal here in the UK. I will fight for a spot to get the JL1. So the other interesting news about the JL1 is we're actually going back to having a mid-piece again. So it's not going to be like the JL1 Rev 1. We're going to actually have the mid-piece again. I'm not expecting it to be cheap, but again, limit it to 50 units. Do it at whatever price we can. And then we'll be golden. I love the mid-piece. Yeah, we're bringing the mid-piece back. So the original reason behind the Rev 1 when we were working with James was to try and reduce the costs and everything else, which we did, and it worked well. But it always felt like I was missing part of the original design vision for it. And that's why I wanted to bring it back. Especially when we started to rehash the JO2. So yeah. Mid-piece is spicy. Yeah, it's also functional as well now. Also has a function. I really wish high-end cases like these were more widely available for splits. I think it's down to the popularity of splits, like, and the prices that people are willing to pay for them. Like, you know, it's really hard to justify high prices for something if people aren't willing to pay for that. The Sol Full Hand was pretty good and well priced, but didn't sell well because of the price. You know, it's just what it is. A lot of these parts aren't like mirror workable, so you can't, like, you know, do the same part twice and then flip it over. You have to do completely different molds, like mirror images of each other and things, so it's not cheap to make. Adam says, honestly, I love my JO1 Rev 1 with no pin missing. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think it's a great board. Like, James and I worked hard on that. James did a great job with it. He always does. He's an amazing designer. And I do love those boards. They are exactly what we designed it to be. We designed it to be a cheaper version of the JO1 without compromising on the focus, which was sound. And we did that. I think we achieved that 100%. But my original vision for the board from when we first designed it back in 2016, 2017, was to have that mid-piece in place. Like, that was part of the visual aspect of the board. And that's why I want to bring that back. Just bring back that visual aspect. I wouldn't ever classify myself as a designer. I've been told by too many designers that I'm not a designer. But, like, in my head, that is part of the design. Like, it's part of the original vision for it. So I want to bring it back. But again, limited units only. Let's go in there. You are my designer guy, Ines. You are my designer guy.
Incredible.
100%. You're part of the official PT team. So yeah, that makes you a designer. Okay. Okay. I feel like people who use splits are quite particular about specific layout as well, so it'd be difficult to get one case layout with probably. That's the other side to it, yeah. I mean, splits are really cool. Like, I've had some cool ones over the years. I have a VEA still, which will be up for sale soon, sadly. But, like, splits are cool boards.
Incredible.
Incredible. Thank you so much to Jelly Green Donut and Lugger for the follows. I appreciate that, guys. I just want to cut a TKL in half, personally. I mean, you do that, man.
Tasty, tasty.
Rexathon, thank you so much for the 12 months of subs. Happy PT birthday. Super happy to see you here, man. As a Curie user, my other boards are mostly for the coffee table. Catch a heart. What do you like, man? What do you like? I think my issue with my personal collection these days, and why it depresses me so much, is because they are just coffee table pieces, a lot of them, and some of them aren't even that because they're just sat in a cupboard or a drawer. And that's why we're selling some of my personal collection, which Twitch subs will have seen. in the Twitch subs channel on Discord. If you're a sub, you can check that channel out. There is some of my personal collection for sale through Mel at the moment. You are welcome to check that out if you're a sub. We'll make the list public at some point in the near future, probably late this week, I think. But subs do get first dibs. Quite a few have gone already, but there's plenty more to go, and the list will be updated in a couple of weeks' time as well. There'll be another series of boards to update to. Tungstens with the CF plate. I haven't tried tungstens on a CF plate before. I imagine that will make it very loud. If you're okay with it being loud, I think that's cool. Ooh, it didn't feel right. It feels okay now. I assume your personals are on the high end when it comes to price. To be honest, I'm not dealing with prices at all. I'm leaving it all to Mel.
Incredible.
So there's two sides to this. Like, I don't really want to like scam people out of money for like flipping. I'm not about that. A lot of these boards I bought on the aftermarket, so I didn't pay group buy price or retail price for. I tend to have paid a little bit more, but I've had some of these boards for 3 or 4 years, so it really depends on what we paid for it. And at the same time, I don't want to sell something like if I bought something. Let's make up in a situation. Let's say I bought something for $300 5 years ago, and that's now selling for $5,000. I don't want to sell that to someone for $500 for them to just flip it for $5,000 in a week's time. I don't want to be selling my boards to someone to see them put it on Mech Market to just rip people off. So more than just the price, we are trying to make sure they go to good homes. That's people we trust get priority first. That's why we're going to subs first as well, and then we'll open it up to the public too. I just don't want people to take advantage of me or other members of the community that way. That being said, that doesn't mean that I want cost price for these. I kind of need to make my money back. That's kind of where I'm at. I'm just going to get a 10U spacebar wire over here, which I think is fair enough, but at the same time I don't want to scalp people either. So if something's worth $5,000 on the aftermarket, I'm not going to sell it for $5,000 because I think that'd be unfair. And in fact, someone reached out to me the other day. I'm not going to say who. I bought a board for like just around £100 GBP. They offered me almost 2.5 times that, and I said no, don't be silly. Look, this is what I paid for it. Give me this instead. So like I'm not. So if someone makes a silly offer to Mel and Mel brings it offer to me, I'm not going to say, oh yeah, let's take the money. Because I'm not about that lifestyle. Like literally, if I think they're offering me way too much money, I'll tell them to drop it out. In fact, we did it with 2 boards last week, just out of the few that we sold. Like, because I'm not about that. I don't want people to just assume that I want market rate, but at the same time, I don't want people to assume that I only pay group buy price for it. Like, I want to break even. Kind of is where my head's at with these. But if I tell people what I spent on them, then it kind of becomes a bidding war. Then like 10 people will offer the same price and 5 people will offer more, and then they'll say, why didn't you pick me when I offered more? So we don't want to do that either. It's kind of a really difficult situation to balance. So I hope you'll be appreciative of that, and if you do make like an offer to Mel for something, just be appreciative that it's her time, and that's the kind of difficulty that we're going through at the minute. But I'm not out here to kind of like rip people off. If it's a silly offer, it's very, very much appreciated, but I'm not going to take a silly offer. Like, I think the Jane V2 CE's on there. If someone offered like something stupid like 10 grand, I'm not going to say yes to 10 grand. Like, that's way too much money. If it was closer to what I paid for aftermarket, then maybe fair enough. But I didn't pay anywhere near 10 grand for it. So, like, and I know I'm making them. Did I just drop a massive bit of loot? No. So I know I'm making numbers up here, but like I don't want to sell it to someone who's then just going to try and make money off of my generosity. But at the same time, I want to make sure it goes to a good home and that I break even. And that's kind of where my head is at. Ink blacks sound great. Well, the J series boards have always been designed for the black inks, apart from the very first one, which was designed for any linear. But then we realized it worked for the black inks, and we made some tweaks to it. Black inks on CF is one of the nicest sounds in this hobby you can get with an isolation gasket board, I think, personally. Okay, just about there on the stabilizers now. I'll catch up with chat in a second and see what you guys are talking about. That did not go so well. There we go. We have our stabilizers done. That is all of the stabilizers that we need. We're now going to get them into the PCB, and then we can go from there. We need the bribe command here. Yeah, the bribe command's on Discord. It works quite well. Have board owned by Jay. Want double what it's worth. No one thinks the boards are worth more just because I've had them. That's a fallacy. I'm not like Teha or anything like that. Still waiting to hear some hopeful good news from Mel. To be honest, Mel's handling all of that in her spare time. Please be very patient with her, because she's not doing this as like a part of her job at Prototypist. This is my personal stuff, and she's taking the time of her own outside of work to help me out with this, just because she's a great friend. So just bear that in mind. It's not like a work thing. It's not like a Prototypist thing. This is me on my own selling my personal boards, and Mel is just handling that for me. Okay, I think of ink blacks on a prototype that needs a new home. Makes sense. Take the money. No, I'm not about that. I'm not about that kind of life. Adam says, I think the approach you've taken sits in a happy medium. Plus, Mel is terrifying, so hopefully we'll discourage complaints. The secret is Mel's not really terrifying. Mel's really nice. Like, genuinely, she's the nicest, most loyal person I know. She's lovely, and I'm lucky to have her at the workshop. I really am. Don't tell her that, because then she'll get a big head. But genuinely, I'm really lucky to have her at the workshop. So yeah. But she's not scary. She's not scary. Mel would take the 9,500. You get the 500. No, she would not. She would not. Right. Okay. So I know for a fact that if I was completely hands off and I let Mel settle on the price, she probably would take the money, but she would be 100% honest about what she'd taken for it and given me, because she tells me off for being too reasonable at times. But yeah, she's the type of person I could give her an envelope with cash in, and if I didn't know how much, if I just shoved all my cash in an envelope and gave it to her and I hadn't counted it, I know for a fact that if I gave that to her for a year and came back and asked her for that envelope would not have been touched. 100% not have been touched, because she's just not about that. She's so loyal, it's untrue. Like, that's just not how she is. She wouldn't have borrowed money out of it to put it back later. She would have just took that away and hidden it safe and then given it to me back when I asked for it, because that's the type of person Mel is. And she's super loyal, so yeah, I completely trust her from that perspective. Okay, don't tell her about this, because she's going to watch back on the clip. Someone's going to clip that, and then she's going to send it to Mel. That's what's going to happen. I can see it coming. She does have a lot of integrity, yeah. Right, okay, so time to get the stabilizers in the board. So what we need to do is we need to take some of these shims, and we need to pop them on top of the... Well, we need to snap them off of this first. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We need 12 of these. And these are shims to make the plate and PCB assembly the correct thickness for the stabilizers, because we have 1.5mm stabilizers. Sorry, 1.6mm stabilizers, and the PCB is 1.2mm thick. It's a 1.2mm PCB, yeah. Made me feel ridiculously welcome at the workshop. Mel's great. I'm glad you were okay, Kish. I'm glad you enjoyed your time here. It was a good day. J-Mans, what is a budget board? A budget so-called marbly alu board? Something like I don't know. Depends on what size you want. Like, what size do you want? Do you want a 60%? Do you want something bigger? And it really depends on what you mean by that marbly sound. Like, that means different things to different people. Real talk, if you're using a full plate, what's the talk? What's the point? No plate with this. This is PCB mat. No plate. Maybe QK65 or the Link 65. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We need that one and that one. That should be all we need. So what we're doing here is just snapping off these little tabs to make these work right. So we're just snapping them off. These are just made of FR4, dead simple. Keychron Q8, Alice and ISO is probably, so it's not, so if you can fit an ISO enter on it, it's not an Alice layout. Let me just be clear. Link 65 soon. Yeah, Friday. Friday 7 till 7:30 p.m. Just a half an hour slot. Price announced tomorrow. Don't ask me what time I'm going to announce it tomorrow. I don't know yet. Okay, let's try and get these stabilizers in. We're going to pop the stabilizer in for backspace first. In fact, let's pop these on the stabilizer first. That may help. I've never really had to use these shims before, so this is a first for me. Where's my tweezers? I do have tweezers somewhere. Okay, my tweezers seem to have gone missing. That's a shame. I'm going to blame Mel. Oh, they're here. I'm not going to blame Mel because they're here. So we're just going to literally just get these to fit. Oh man, that's tight. I don't know, are the shims supposed to go under the PCB? I don't see how that would work, right? Like, are they supposed to go under? Like, the Heine ones I've used in the past always went on top. Let's see. Let's put one in, and let's see how they are. I'm not sure how I'm going to get that to fit on the underside now. And do you know what? That actually feels like it's pretty secure in there. I think we're going to be alright without the shims, you know. I think we're going to be alright without the shims. Let's not put the shims in. Let's put the shims to one side. And if we feel like it feels like a little bit rattly after we built it, we'll put the shims on. Let's go with that. That seems like a fine approach for me today. Right. Because I trapped my finger the other week doing this, I'm just going to do this with a tool. There we go. Wait, did we do one short? Oh, we did one stabilizer short. We need to do one more stabilizer. We miscounted. We got too excited about Cosworth engines. Okay, I think they're going to be okay. Let's do one more stabilizer in a second. Under so you don't cause an offset to the keycap and switch spacing. Got it. Makes sense. I mean, you're talking like half a mil, right? Like, it's not going to be a huge amount of difference. But yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. If we wedge these in, these should be okay. If not, we can always come back and put the shims in on the bottom. I've never actually used them apart from on a Heine PCB before. Just from a personal perspective, very few boards I own actually use a 1.2mm PCB. Split right shift. Oh yes, that's it. That's where we use the other one. Thank you for pointing that out. We'll move that in a second. Josh, you're keeping me honest there. Thank you very much. With TX, it isn't as painful. I think it'd be easier on screw-ins than all the TX ones, right? I don't know. I don't think we're going to need them. We'll see how it sounds, and we'll see if they need them later on when we build the board. If like I can feel movement in the stabilizers, then 100% we will fix that and rectify it. It will not take long to fix. Okay, we just need to move the stabilizer that we put into right shift because that one is going to become the stabilizer for the numpad. Enter key. There we go. That's it. So that's our layout correct. Whoops. Right, now it's time to get some switches in, which means it's your guys' turn to choose which switches we use for this build. So I do have a few choices for you. We'll set up a poll in a second and I'll walk you through the switch choices we have. And you guys get to decide how the board gets built today. Whoops. Shims are a pain to install, and while certainly on the last build they were needed. Yeah, I feel that. If they're needed, we'll come back to it. We can do it once the board's built anyway. That's fine. The lack of the usual copper fill in the stabilizer areas is to prevent shorts with the screw and stabs, I think. I believe so, yeah. About 1/2 mil, that still matters when moving parts, hence sticking with slightly off stabs. Yes, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Pink was a true winger. How pink could look with fundamentals. Maybe I'll move the build over to that one. Maybe I'll build. Thanks. Maybe I'll move the build over to that one when we're finished. But there we go. That's how we're going to build it today. ISO with full backspace, 10U spacebar, split left shift, split right shift, macro keys. Time for you guys to pick switches. So let me walk you through the switches. Let me set up a poll. Okay, so the first choice you guys have is POM Piano Durox. These are lubed. All the switches I'm going to show you today are lubed with Krytox 205 Grade 2. Very lightly lubed. So POM Piano Durox. That's the first option. Okay, second option is Gateron X Round 1. Third option is Inks. Gateron Inks. And there is another bag that I've got behind me. It's in 2 bags, but we have CJ switches. Those are your choices for switches today. Let me put the poll up, and you guys get to pick which switches you would like to see on the board. So, let me know. Poll is there. Poll is away and go. I've got my vote in, nice and early. A 10U spacebar, good for typing your forehead. 100%, man. 100%. Pianos are lovely. Yeah, pianos are lovely. Let's see how they come out. Let's see who wins. You think pianos are going to win? Maybe. We'll see. You should really try pianos. If you'd have said I'd have sent you some in that last box we sent you. Just going to have a look at these shims. Just don't feel like I can get this to fit easily. Maybe. We can do it if we need to. We'll see how we get on. Is piano long pole? Not particularly. Watch one whale come in with the Get X rig. Yeah, we're going to get some Gateron inks in soon. I'm not sure if they're on the current ship or in the next shipment, but we should have them pretty soon, yeah. Looks like the POM Piano Durox are winning though. I think that's fair. That's not too bad of a show. Too many switches for me now. Yeah, like switches have changed so much in the past couple of years. It's gone from like being like 20 types in the market. Like I can still remember when the hot news was that Gateron was coming out with a switch that fitted the MX switches because the patents had expired and all of this. Like that was the hot news, and Gateron switches were seen as clones. And now we have, and back then we had to have like the 5 or 10 different cherry types of switch and 5 or 10 different types of Gator, and that was it. There was nothing else. Then Zelios came out, and that was cool, and Telios and all that kind of stuff. And then other manufacturers started coming out with stuff. Then there was the whole Stelio kind of saga a couple of years back, and then the whole thing just exploded. And now we have like, I mean, I think we've got like 50 types of switches in stock. Like it's nuts. It's crazy. It's crazy. Cherry should still have the patent, then the market would be easy to grow. This is just a modern day Model FXT layout with MX switches. Kinda. Yeah, kinda. Razer switches and HyperX switches. There's so much on the market, man. Like I can't even keep track of what's out there today. I'm surprised that CJs are doing so well in the poll though, and that Gap Black Inks are doing so poorly. Looks like the Pompiano Joke's gonna win. Good job, we've got plenty of those. Yeah. Some of my favorite switches actually, the FlareTech switches, which were used by the W1. But you can't buy them because they're optical switches, and there's no PCBs out there that support them apart from the W1 ones. But those FlareTech switches were super smooth. They were super smooth. I keep seeing switches by JWK from vendors I've never heard of. Yeah, man, like they just pop up all over the place. There goes all my points on CJs. Nice. They're still behind though. But well done for spending your points, I see. Ben OSRS, hey man, good to see you. Thanks for joining. You ran out of points. That's fair. Same with stabs now. Everyone's saying cherry clip-ins are the way. You have to love this hobby. Yeah, like it's fair. Like cherry clip-ins have never been bad. They went slightly downhill when the molds got renewed a couple of years back, but they've never been bad stabilizers. Other than the fact that all stabilizers are terrible and you can't get really good ones because there's no such thing as a good stabilizer. There's just slightly less worse stabilizers. So yeah, meta's changed from Gap Black Inks. Yeah, it has, right? Just ordered some GMK dots from you. Thanks, man. Thanks. That we should be out in the next couple of days. We aim to ship all orders within 3 working days, so watch out for those this week. Opticals have to be smooth. Yeah, well, they don't have to be smooth, but there's kind of like there's no leaf, right? So the whole point of a normal switch is as you push down the switch, it contacts the leaf and pushes it out of the way, and that's that contact of the leaf tapping on the actual the pin makes the connection and makes the switch activate. But in FlareTech switches, it's optical, so there is no leaf to touch, so there's no tactility within it. So because of that, there's no friction other than the POM stem on the sides of the housing. So you can lube them and they become amazing switches. I do think optical is one of the futures for switches in the hobby. I think that is somewhere where we will get to. I think it's just going to take a couple of custom boards that sell big to make it that way. But yeah, and I think that the manufacturers need to come up with better optical switches as well. Like if FlareTech could make their switches available, I would use them and make sure that, like, if we could do a JO2 with optical switches, we're using the FlareTech switches, I would 100% do it. Like I would literally do that and make sure that the switches came packaged with the board, because they're great, they're really good. But it's just not possible at the minute, so maybe we'll see. Yeah, so analog switches are a thing, like Hall effect type switches. There's a guy that 3D prints them. I've forgotten his name. His name eludes my memory right this hot second, but I've spoken to him a number of times in Top Clack channel. Riskables, there you go. Riskables, there you go. He's good. So there you go. You're gonna look into optical switch footprints. Like, let's have a talk about this in EOS tomorrow. Let's have a chat about this tomorrow. Let's see what we can come up with. Let's see if we can do anything. Right, what one on the switches? What one on the switches? I completely missed that. Pompiano Jurix, right, okay. Let's get the switches in the board, and then we can solder it, and then we can get the board put together. Right, let's crack on with the build. Magnetic switches with adjustable actuation points is the real deal to my mind. You're talking about Hall effect switches in essence there. That is a oh. Okay. Right, okay, so now I know why the alignment plates were a good inclusion. I've never tried an optical tactile switch. JO2 becoming a must-buy. It was always a must-buy, right? Right, okay. So we've got these plates. We're going to use these for alignment and to then kind of like pin the switches in place, because these switches don't want to stay in the PCB. They're kind of loose in the PCB. So we're going to use these right assembly plate. Okay. Okay, I see how these work. Okay, so we can pop that in here. And then we can use it to assemble. I see. We're probably going to run into problems with the stabilizers, but I see how this is going to work. I think we're just going to have a slight issue with the stabilizers. I don't really want to snap the sides off of this just yet. Okay, it's going to have to go like that, right? We're going to have to go this way around. Okay. So we're going to have to solder this board in sections, I think. Which is fine and is cool. I'm happy to do this. What we're going to do is going to put our switches in place. We're going to use this to get them all nice and neatly aligned. And then we're going to solder in each section. So we're going to do this section of the board first, and then we're going to break all these parts off. Then we're going to do the left-hand side, and then we'll do the middle. And then the last thing we'll do is all of the stabilized keys that are blocked. So at the minute you'll see that we've got the stabilizer keys blocked here. We'll do those last. For those couple of switches, we'll be good. This is a great idea. I like this idea. This is going to keep everything nice and neat and tidy. Big fan of this. Good work, Yankar and Gion. We are going big boy space. Yeah, we are going 10U space bar. You can just push the switches with the vertical stabs manually. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we can. We can just pop them in afterwards. Hand wired, no plate or bust. Okay, so that's all of our switches into this little plate assembly. The plate is going to be removed. It's not going to remain in place. We've got all of our switches coming through. Let's get these soldered in nice and quickly, and then we can move on to the next section of the board. Oh, this is where I've lost the cable for my soldering iron underneath all of these Geon boxes. There we go. I'm just having to dismantle half the room here. The stabs will hold the stabilized keys in place without tools. Yeah, they should do, yeah. Okay, so we're just going to solder this numpad area first. Then we're going to do the other side of the board where the macro keys are. And then we'll do the 60% area. This is a great tool. I really like this idea. Of these little plates. It's a good idea. Better than switch forks or other things that we can use. This is a great idea. Little removable. And basically, it's a removable plate. It's like a part-time plate that you use for just a couple of minutes. Great idea. Will affect rebuild though, because of course you're gonna have to snap it to remove it. Nice smoke. Thanks, man. What iron do I have? This is a TS100. I've had this iron for about 5 years now. And I've soldered pretty much all my boards with it. I can't remember the last time I used a soldering iron that wasn't this one. Probably when I used someone else's soldering iron to do a build. In fact, I do remember when I used a soldering iron that wasn't this one. Before the last London meetup in 2019, 2018, 2019, whatever it was, a friend of mine asked me to build that Alice keyboard right before the meetup, like an hour before, and I used whatever soldering iron they had to hand. Okay, there we go. Nice and simple. Done. Okay, they're all soldered, nice and steady away. Now it's time to remove this this little bit. Let's see how easy this becomes to remove. Oh, okay. Is this where it becomes difficult? It doesn't want to snap easily. There we go. Yeah. Oh, there we go. I don't know if we're going to get it out in one piece. We'll see. I think we're going to have to remove each little bit, I think.
Incredible.
Incredible. Thank you so much, Lil Firefly, for the follow. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay, I think we're going to have to try and unclip it from the switches, actually. Right, maybe that's the way for this. Having never used these before, I'm not quite sure what the best way to use them could be. Okay, so the stabilizers are what's causing an issue here. Gotcha. Okay, so the stabilizers are actually causing a little bit of an issue here. But it should come free with a little bit of gentle persuasion. And then we should be able to... I'm not going to be able to reuse this, but okay. So I think the plan here is, and I bet if there's a build guide for this, I bet the actual way to do this is to not... put the stabilizers in. I bet that's the actual way to do this. Okay. I'm just going to use some flush cutters here. Yeah, it's got to be the way to not put your stabilizers in until after the board's built. I'm just going to use flush cutters just to trim these rather than try and snap them manually. I think the idea is that you don't put the stabilizers in until after. But that's fine. Okay, all our switches are in and nicely aligned though. That's looking pretty neat and tidy. Pretty happy with that. Okay, let's get the other couple of switches in for this particular area around the stabilizer keys. So these switches are not going to hold in place when we flip it over, so we're just going to pin them down. So when we get through to the other side, we can solder these nice and easily. Happy Caller, I will be there in London, yes. Prototypist will have a stand there. I'll be there. I won't be taking any of my personal collection, it'll just be company products and boards, but I'll definitely be there. If you would like to say hello, I would love to say hello back. So just come over, I'm quite easy to approach. So just pop over and say hi, give me a wave. Okay, numpad area all done. Looking good. Right, time to move on to the macro area on the left-hand side of the board. Stabs after. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, but you live and learn. You live and learn. Yeah, I just said that, guys. I just said that. I literally just said that. Man. Okay, let's see if we can get this aligned. Now we've learnt for this build, if I ever have to build another one, I know. You might want to do the alphas. It's a pain in the ass to align the plate. Get the align plate off if you do last. Oh, okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, okay, we can do that. I thought this one would be a little bit easier, but okay. Okay, so it doesn't actually want to clip in here because of the... We should have probably done this area first. See, again, we're living and learning, right? We're living and learning. We should have probably done this area first because it doesn't actually want to sit inside these switches now. And get around this stabilizer. Let's take these stabilizers out and come back to them. Been there, done that. I had to go off the other end. That's fine. We're living and learning, guys. Like, we didn't follow build guide for this. We're just making it up as we go along. That's half the fun. I'm going to take the stabilizers out, though. And we'll put them back in after the build's complete. I think it's just this one stabilizer that's the issue, but we'll take out this one as well. The spacebar one we should be able to leave in. There we go. That's going to work a little bit better. And the reason we've done that is just because it was just fouling on these switches here. But now it should allow us to put everything in. There we go. And of course, being plateless, we can just pop the stabilizers back in at any time. So it'll be okay. Yeah, thinking about it through, like now, like just mentally, it makes more sense to do the middle section and then do the outside section. But you know, we didn't think it through at the time. But that's okay. We're living and learning. Life's not about the mistakes you make; it's about how you fix them. You learn more from making a mistake once than you do from getting everything right the first time. Okay, so we know that that's right for the backspace. We want the ISO enter one, which we can't put in until last, so that's there. We are going to need this switch here as well, which is the other key for ISO enter area. So you see we've got the ISO enter shape there. And we're splitting this shift key, so we want one here, and then we will want another switch here, but we can't get that in just yet. So we'll come back to that later. Don't think we're going to be quite able to get it in. No. So we're going to need to do that last switch for the split right shift after we've got the rest of the board put together. Okay. Any news on GMK Botanical? Everything I know is on the updates. If I don't have anything on the updates, I don't know anything new. GMK has started only releasing scheduled news to the when you request it to the lead vendor. I haven't checked in with Garrett for that one for a while, so at Omnitype. So as far as I know, that's still on track. He hasn't let me know of any delays yet. How much did the case cost for this particular keyboard? I don't know. I bought two of them. I bought a pink one and I bought this raw one. I don't know how much it was. I know what the total was, but I bought some other bits and pieces as well, like some extra stabilizers, some extra keycaps, some extra tadpoles, which are part of the mounting method on this board. So I don't know exactly how much the boards cost me because I got them in two. I got one that was raw or unfinished aluminium, and I got one that was baby pink. So I don't want to say a price and then tell you I was wrong. But I'm pretty sure you can Google it and find it. The W1-AT by Geonworks. Yeah, those are the two cases I showed in my Instagram, yeah. In the big black boxes. Oh, good point, actually. Yeah, let's check that in a second. I think it still does, right? I think it's still... Let's line it up. Yeah, look, and a key. Look, yeah. So the wing keyless is here and here, and you got the space bar, and you got a switch on either side. Okay. Have you heard what happened with the new GMK policy on the second round of samples? For which set, Vintage Kish? Which set? I don't know which set you mean there. I mean, GMK do always charge a fee if you go through a number of samples and you haven't agreed to the ones that they produce. Like that's not new. Just like they've always had a fee for multiple quotes. Eventually, like if you quote on a certain project so many times, you have to pay a fee. Okay. That switch does not want to go into spacebar. Let's have a look at that in a second. You're going to have to desolder if you're not careful. I'm pretty sure looking at it. We'll have a look. We'll put the 10U spacebar on, but we'll take the switches off before we solder if we need to take them off. Unless the wire, which is 8U. Oh no, maybe you do actually. Maybe you do actually, because the wire is 8U. Yeah, it's alright. Check it before we solder. Don't worry. It's fine. GMK is the name of the manufacturer. So multiple people design GMK keycap sets. Like there's a lot of designers out there that design GMK keycap sets, but they're all made with the same molds at GMK. So they're just literally labeled as GMK because that's the manufacturer. It's like saying it's a Ford Orion or a Ford Sierra or whatever else. Ford is the manufacturer, irrespective of what particular model the car is. It's just the same thing. Okay. JTK is another manufacturer. You are spot on, sir. Why does that switch not want to go in? There we go. Okay. So we'll flip out these two switches as Adam and Anarchy pointed out. Put one in for spacebar, which for some reason doesn't seem to want to fit here. There we go. Okay, so it all looks like it's pretty good. Some of these switches don't feel like they're fully pressed in, so I'm just going to press from the other side just to make sure we're fully aligned and fully neat and tidy. That's feeling much better already. Spacebar feels like a little bit loose, so I'm going to have to put some pressure on when I solder a switch in the middle or two. So we'll do that now. Where do we put the solder? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat one pin up. And then once I've heated the pin up, I'm going to push down on the plate and PCB assembly, reheat the pin, let the solder flow, let the soldering iron come off, let it set, and then once the heat has set the pin in place, it should be good. I haven't put enough solder on that, so I'm just going to redo that. It'll ping off when I heat it up. There we go. Then we're going to do that again. Heat it up, push it down, and we're going to let it set. Then we're just going to do the other side of that switch. Same process. Okay, we're going to do a couple more switches in the middle just to make sure that this is all fully in, and then we'll work out from there. Okay. I'm just going to do one pin on each switch, just following this little solder, reheat, reflow, whilst we put pressure on the PCB and plate all down this row. We'll go in both directions. And that's just going to make sure that the switches are fully seated in the PCB. And then we've got everything nice and neatly aligned. Have I ever designed my own keycap set? Yeah, I did GMK Midnight Rainbow a few years ago. So that was a set designed by me. Okay, I'm going to just do a couple on the top row. Again, we're going to go for somewhere around the middle. I'm just going to follow that same logic, just to the right in direction. So we're just pinning that down, making sure it's nice and soldered, nice and neatly. Make sure all these switches are fully in place. again, we're just going to work our way down this row, doing exactly the same thing. And then once we know that this row is done, we'll go to the left as well. And then once that's done, we'll be able to solder the rest of the pins without worrying about alignment. It just takes a little bit of time, a little bit more time than normal. But just make sure you get a better product at the end. So just soldering the pin, reheating the pin whilst we push the PCB and plate together, waiting for the solder to flow, and then removing the soldering iron, letting the solder set, and then moving on to the next switch. Okay, so I think we're good there as well. Just do this last one, and then we'll move to the other side. Okay, so we've done the top row, we've done the middle row with those pins, so now we're going to go the opposite direction and just do the exact same process. Just make sure the switches are fully compressed into the plate assembly. Okay, almost there going this way, and then we'll do the top row as well. I do like the fork plate alignment tool. I think that's pretty clever in this. It's a good idea. Just a little bit of disposable FR4 plates. It's good. I'm surprised other people haven't done this before. Okay. Try and build up a bit of speed here, and then we can start to solder the board fully. Do all the missing pins, all of the missing switches, that kind of stuff. We should just be able to go straight through those. No plates are fine. It depends on the board. Some boards are designed for plates, some boards aren't. This one's clearly designed to not have a plate in place. And then once we've done that, we can pop our stabilizers back in once we finish the soldering and remove the plate. Okay, there. I think that's good. I'm just going to do these switches on the bottom row the same way, just to make sure we've done like the front and rear of the board. Just going to do that one, and then I'm just going to come over here and do the same on the other side. Oops. Knocking our solder over. Okay, now we can speed run resoldering the rest of the options on this PCB. So we're going to do the bottom row first, which is just 2 more pins to do. And then we've got a whole row here to do. We shouldn't need to press everything together again because we've already done like the top, the middle, and the bottom rows, so that should hold everything in nice and neatly alignment. So now it should just be a case of jumping from switch to switch, soldering nice and neatly. Okay.
Incredible.
Thank you so much, Temporary, for the follow. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay, so that's this middle layer run. Well, the shift row done. Just about. One more switch to go. Then what we're going to do is we're going to solder the pins that we missed on purpose on the middle row, the home row. And then after this, we're going to solder the pins we missed on the top row, and then come back around to do the QWERTY row at the end. Then we'll remove the plate holder. And once we remove the plate, sorry, the switch holder for the plate, once we've removed that, we'll then put our stabilizers back in. And then we'll put any missing switches in, and then we'll do the macro keys. A lot of soldering on this board. Okay, gonna come back down the QWERTY row now. And then we should be good from a soldering front. Anaeus needs my opinion on something. Let me know what you need, man. If it's public, put it here. If it's private, put it in our group chat. I'm not sure my opinion's worth much, but feel free to ask away. It's on Discord. Okay, well, I'll look at it after the stream then. Unless it's imperative that I look now, I'll look after the stream. Yeah, Geekhack isn't the most user-friendly site. Okay, cool. There we go. That's the soldering done for that bit. Now what we can do is we can remove the plate alignment segments. So I'm going to cut this again, just because it feels easy to cut them. I think we've got like 3 sets of this tool, so I think we'll be fine if we need to do another one later on. There we go. Going to remove it from this side too. Then we can put our stabilizers in and check the missing keys. Okay, that one doesn't want to go in, so let's okay, we're gonna have to cut these sides off properly then, right? Okay. I thought just trimming the edges would be enough. Apparently not. There we go. That should be already free, I think. Okay. There we go. Okay, so now we can put our stabilizers back in, and then once we've got the stabilizers back in, we can make sure we've got the rest of our switches installed. Which I think is just the ones around ISO enter and right shift. We'll get those installed in a second. Okay, let's get our little tabs put back in. There we go. Pop our switches in here. We need one for ISO enter, and we need one for the split shift. Gonna flip this over. These might fall out, so we're just gonna, yeah. The PCB doesn't want to hold these in place.
I didn't catch that. Could you try again?
My watch thinks we're talking to it. There we go. Okay, we'll solder these really quickly. That's one. That's two. And we'll do the other 2 pins, 3 and 4. And there we go. That's those switches in place. Okay, so the main 60% area of the PCB is now fully soldered with stabilizers in as well. It's all looking good. Time to do the final macro cluster. It might be just easy to put the switches in this first, actually.
Incredible.
Thank you, Boneheaded Noob. Thank you very much for the follow, man. I appreciate that. Okay. Did I buy a kit? Yeah, personally I bought a Suave Blue Tomo. I don't have them yet. I haven't received them yet. They're literally sat in a container in port right now. Okay, last 10 switches to solder. And then we're ready to put the board together. Could you have snapped off the tab on one side and pulled them out with the other side? Yeah, I think so, but it was hard getting into the side where I'd already soldered it. I think if I was going to do this again, I'd do the middle section first, then I'd do the numpad section, and then I'd do the macro section. I'll show you how it should have worked if we'd have done it that way around. But again, we were making it up as we went along, and we learn, which is good. I'd rather learn something than just be told how to do it and get it right first time without knowing why. Okay, that's those switches soldered. Yeah, so what we should have done is we should have started with the middle piece, and we'd have been able to just snap off one side then. Because we'd already soldered a side, it wasn't really possible for us to do that. But in theory, what we can do here is we can just snap off one side and then slide these out. So theoretically, if we push this down past the switches, just like so. So that's now flush against the plate. It's loose. It's not holding the switches in anymore. And then what we should be able to do is we should be able to just use the snipping tool just to snip it enough to break it off. Do the front and the bottom. And then the rest of that should, in theory, just snap off. He says. It's just a little bit further underneath the switches than I'd like. Let's just put some pressure on it here. There we go. There we go. So we take off the left side, and then what should happen, if I'm right, is the right hand side would slide out. So you see here, the right hand side slides out. It's going to hit the other switches, so we're going to get stuck. But what we would have been able to do is we'd have been able to slide it right out if we'd have just done it in sections on the way across. Now we didn't, so we live and learn. But that's fine, because we can now get this flush cutters in and just snip these bits off nice and easily. I think you should go left to right on these, actually. I think the correct way to do it is to go left to right. And there we go. All removed. All fully soldered, all ready to go, all neat and tidy. And we've got all of those switches aligned, so we don't have to worry about them. That's why blue is a nice colour. It is, it's a really nice colour. But definitely do the middle first. Yeah, I think the middle first and the outside sections is the way to go, I think. Or left to right. I think the way I did it, right to left, is probably the worst way to do it. But we've learnt something, and that's what life's about. Okay, so now it's time to take the case apart, and then we can try not to touch this brass. Once we've taken the case apart, we can then pop the PCB and plate assembly in, and then you guys can pick some keycaps for the board. Yeah, the windows are open. It's a full office setup. Like, this is our workshop, so we're fine. But like soldering fumes, as long as you're not breathing it in daily, it's not that bad. Like, you can't melt the lead in it, because like lead, the melting point of lead where it gives off fumes to a dangerous level is a much higher temperature than I solder at. So the only really bad things, the Royson core and stuff like that, but it's fine. Like, if you were soldering 10 boards at a time, then of course we'd have more ventilation, but soldering one board's okay. Could cut the short side on the right side. Yeah, you could do it that way, yes. There was just no access once I'd already soldered the keys for the middle section in. Yeah, most of the fumes are harmless. Okay, there we go. That's the screws out. Flip this back over. Okay. Now the case is top mount in effect, using the little rubber grommets that we've seen, the tadpoles. So now we can bob those in. This just sits in here like this. Let's get for the last time I built one of Gion's board, I liked the feel of the turquoise ones. I can't remember the weighting of these, but the turquoise ones were the one I liked. Yeah, we have to import our solder. And we're just gonna, these tadpoles basically are just a little bit of firm rubber, and you just have to push them into the board through the, well, you push them into the PCB first, and then once you've got them in the PCB, they just literally push into the actual case. So we'll pop them into the PCB first. These are just a rubber grommet that then holds everything in place nice and easily. So we're going to put all of these rubber grommets in place, tadpoles as they're called, but it's just a grommet. Okay, and then we'll push these into the case, and that will all hold in together. So we're just going to literally push the grommets into the slots in the case. That's going to then hold everything together. And then when we type, we're then basically bouncing on these grommets. Okay, so now we've popped all that into position. That's looking good. The case is getting covered in fingerprints, but that's okay. Okay, next job now is to pop the top case on the bottom case, and then we can screw it together. In fact, actually we need to put the daughter board in first. So let's do that. Let's find where we put the daughter board. There it is. Oh, no, that's not the one we're going to use. Is it this one? Yeah, it's this one. So, plug the JST cable in first, just to make it a little bit easier to get it in. And then we're going to put the daughter board in there, and we're going to screw that down. There is a little packet of screws here somewhere, and we're going to assume the daughter board screws are inside it. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think those are the 4 we need. Get the rest of this back away. These are all screws, replacement cases, case screws, and if you wanted to go for, I believe you can make this top mount with a screw instead. I believe that's what the rest of these screws are for. Okay, there we go. Just going to get a smaller screwdriver that's the right size for these screws. And then we're going to pop the screws in one at a time, making sure we go diametric. Oh, that screw doesn't feel like it's the right size. Or is it the screwdriver that's too small? Let's see. Screwdriver issue. There we go. Where did we put that fourth screw? There it is. Oops. And we dropped the screw right at the last second. Typical. Okay, that's all 4 screws holding the dustboard in place. That's now nice and sturdy. The next job is to get the top case ready to clip in. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure that the JST cable is connected correctly. And then we're going to follow Socialite's advice from earlier on tonight, where he mentioned that you had to be careful with the JST cable alignment and that it needed to sit at the top of the board. So we're just going to be very careful. We're going to drop it down. That feels like it's okay. Okay. Now it's time to screw this one back together. And again, we're going to go diametrically opposed. In fact, I've got the right size screw. We would go diametrically opposed. It is a very short JST cable, but that's okay. Okay, 2 more screws to go on the front, and then 2 screws on the back, and then the case is back together. And the next job then is for you guys to pick a keycap set while I test the keyboard out. Okay, I think we've got the rubber feet just up here as well. Let's grab those. Just going to put the feet in. Okay, and there we go, guys. That's the raw W1-AT covered in fingerprints, ready for testing and some keycaps. So, whilst I sort the test of the board out, you guys are going to get to pick some keycap sets. So let's get a new poll up. Which keycaps? And you guys are going to get to pick. So today, I'll show you. I'll type them out first. I'll put the poll up, then I'll show you the keycaps, and then you guys can pick whilst I'm testing the board and making sure everything works. So what have we got? We've got GMK Hammerhead. Then we've got GMK Shoko. We've got GMK Skydolch. That's an OG set, if there is one. And then we've got GMK Analog Dreams. Okay, so I'm going to start the poll going. I'm going to show you guys the keycap sets now. You guys can pick, and then I'll test the keyboard. This is GMK Hammerhead. We've also got GMK Shoko. This is round 1. Then we've got GMK Skydolch, which looks similar to Hammerhead, I'll give you, but this is a much older set. And then finally, we've got GMK Analog Dreams. You guys pick. You guys pick. The poll's up. You can join that in chat. Whilst you guys are doing that, I'm just going to test out the keyboard, make sure everything works as it should do. I'm just going to put that in.
Incredible.
Thank you so much, Indigo Doyle. Thank you so much. Okay. Let me see if I can share switch header. There we go. And we've got a full ISO. So there we go. Let's give this a test and see what we have. Okay, D's not working. We can have a look at that in a second. Okay. FN is working because we're getting a little light change under here. So I can see that FN's working. Space is working as well. F keys are working. And the numpad all works. So there we go. We're all working. Everything looks good, apart from the D key. Not quite sure why that one's not working. It feels like we've soldered it. Maybe we only soldered one pin. We'll go back to that and check that later on. But other than that, it looks good. Let's see where you guys are at with the keycaps. Well, GMK Hammerhead Dark and GMK Analog Dreams are both up there right now. I'm just going to tidy up a little bit here, just make sure we've got plenty of space on the desk. Let's get these out of the way. I think the thing you guys have to think about when you're picking keycap sets is we're going to have to use a 10U spacebar, right? So whatever you pick, it's going to have one of these spacebars match it. Now, I don't think that Hammerhead Dark has one that matches it. Analog Dreams, one of these ones might match. Dolch, that one matches. Just bear this in mind, guys. Bear this in mind, that if we pick GMK Hammerhead Dark, which spacebar are we going to use with that? Just bear that in mind, guys. Just have a think about that. Just have a think about that. Because I don't think you guys have really considered how we're going to get that 10U spacebar covered the way you're selecting keycaps here. I don't think you're thinking it through. I think you missed that. Will you trust us with the spacebar decision? Maybe. I mean, the ultimate answer is that I could just get GMK white on black and put that on here, and we'll be fine. So that is kind of like the fallback option that I might do off stream. Just move back to GMK white on black. We'll see. There we go. Analog Dreams up there now. So I don't know if the spacebar matches that Analog Dreams color. Let's have a look. Oh, maybe it does. Maybe it does. Maybe we can get away with that. Like, there is a slight color difference, but maybe we can get away with that. Maybe that would be okay. There is a slight color difference, but I think it might be alright. There you go. There's a slight color difference, but it might be okay. Well, it's alright if we go with white on black because we've got a black spacebar, so we just use the black one. I think the issue is everyone's like, Hammerhead Dark's a really cool set. It looks really great. And it does. Don't get me wrong. It does. But I don't know what spacebar you put with Hammerhead Dark. Like, which are you going to match with that? Let's put the camera so it's easy to show you. Which are you going to match with that? Like, beige doesn't really work. The Dolce doesn't really work. The black doesn't really work. You guys came to your senses and picked Analog Dreams. That's cool. Right, let's get Analog Dreams on the board. I'm going to just pop it here, and then I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and then you guys can see how the board comes together as we put keycaps on. Now, I'm hoping that with the novelties, we actually can put some sculpted novelties on here, I think, to an extent. Maybe. Let's see what we can do. Go yellow, and then pink. Let's see what we can get here. And then if we go beige, what have we got from a beige perspective? Let's do beige. And then let's just for fun do the pink keys there. And the yellow keys there. Let's just do something like that. It's a little bit silly. I don't think we're going to use any of the novelties anywhere else on the board, so I'm going to put these away now. No, these are Pom Piano Durox. Just a nice beige set. Yeah, nice and beige. Anal Dreams. Analog Dreams, even. Okay. This should have the number pad kit and potentially some of the ISO keys in, so let's see what we've got here. So that's going to be our numlock key. In fact, let's unplug this so we don't cancel the stream as we're putting keys in. Then we've got our plus key. We've got our enter key. We've got an ISO enter there, but I'm not sure if we're going to use that yet or not. Oh, we'll need that for... Ooh, no, technically we don't need that because we're not building a TKL. We should have the dot. Wait, which way around do we usually do this on numpad? Because Mel and I have a numpad here that's slightly the wrong orientation. So we do this. Wait, is there no minus key there? There we go. We do that way round, which is multiply, divide, minus. That's the way around we have there. It's set up. I don't know why we have it that way around because it should be the other way, but that's the way we have it. Okay. Okay, I'm going to leave the two ISO enters out and we'll pick which one we're going to use in a little bit. I know the colours are washing out a little bit on the camera right now. I apologise for that. This board is so long. It is. But that's not a bad thing. Right, let's get the main part of the keycap set on. So many accent keys. Well, we can't use any of these spacebars, so let's put these away now. We know we can't use those. We can't use the split spaces either. There's the backspace key. More split spacebars that we don't need. More actual spacebars that we don't need. Okay. Okay. Oh, the hiragana ones are mixed in. The hiragana alphas are mixed in here. Okay, we're going to have to just try and use the... I didn't want to use those. I wanted to use the normal alphas, so we're going to have to be really careful here. No arrow keys, so we don't need those. We don't need the hiragana keys, so I'm going to pop those in there. Shouldn't need that. We will need the tab key. Don't need that. We don't need that. We've got stepped cap, so we'll pop that on, which will be control. We don't need full shift anywhere. We don't need the hiragana keys. I did feel like there was a lot of keys here. This kind of explains why there was so many. And we've got the control key there. And I'm going to put the... Oh no, in fact, we're not. We're going to put the control key at the other side, actually. And we've got we need the 1-AT key, which we haven't found yet.
Tasty, tasty.
Joe, hey man, thank you so much for the subscription, man. I really appreciate that. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. I'm doing really well. Thank you so much for asking, man. I hope you're doing well too, dude. I hope you're doing well too.
Tasty, tasty.
Jay Shuff, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. At least you made it for the typing test. 15 months, man. Thank you so much for being here for 15 months. Thank you, dude. Thank you. And Joe was here for 11 months as well, just before you. That's kind of crazy. But yes, you have made the typing test. Pretty sure we've got UK ISO keys here, so I'm going to put those in there. We don't need the caps lock key. We do need the other control key, which I haven't found yet. I'm slightly concerned that we don't have all of the keys here. Like, it feels like we might not have all of the keys. I don't know why. I don't know where the rest of the modifiers are. Like, where are the rest of the modifiers? My collection is usually... I'm going to go for the pink escape because I like the pink escape. Which means we're going to go for the yellow enter, because why not? I do feel like we're missing quite a few keys here, and I don't know where they are. Let's see where we can get to. Let's see how we can get this sorted. I do feel like we are missing keys though. This is going to be frustrating if we are. But it's feeling that way. It's feeling that way. We'll take a little look through the tub and see if we just popped them away by mistake, but I don't think we did. I haven't put this on a board for a long time, so I don't know what's happened here. I can't remember what the last board I used this set on was actually. But it does feel like we are missing some keys. Let's just try again and see if... Well, we don't have any keys here. That key. We definitely don't need those. There's definitely the UK ISO keys that are missing. Yeah, the last time was on the TGR prototype. So, just for reference, guys, I had a TGR prototype that I used to own, and people came at the open day and they put keys on that board, but they put them in alphabetical order. It was this actual keycap set. Mel took it off that board the other day, but it does feel like we've got some keys missing. I can't imagine that people would have not put them back in the tub. Right, let's just make sure it's not just me here. Like, it could just be me here and me not paying attention. I don't need space bars, right? We don't need the full shift. We need the split shift, and I know it has this because I've had it on an ISO book before. It's not that shift either. That's a space bar. That's a space bar. We need the other control as well. There should be another full-size control. It doesn't feel like that's here. The 1UFN key isn't here either. So where the hell have these gone? Well, they're definitely not in there, because that's just literally just novelties. And they're not in here either, because that's just literally the remainder of the numpad keys that we haven't used. I think we're going to have to pick another set, guys, because some of the keycaps from this keycap set have gone missing, and I have no clue where they are. This is really frustrating because, like, this was a whole set. I had every keycap for this set. It was on a board, but all the keys that were on the board are not here either. That's the other frustrating thing. Because we don't have an F key, and we don't have the 2 and the 3, and we don't have the AT key, and those, sorry, the hash key, those were definitely on the board that this was taken off of, so I don't know where those have gone. Yeah, the 1U keys in with the numpad aren't the right ones. The numpad keys, like, if you look here, they're not the right ones. Yeah, they're not the right keys. That's really frustrating. It looks like part of my keycap set's gone missing. Okay, I'm a little bit disappointed with that. Oh well, we'll take these keycaps off and we'll have to pick something else. No, now you guys have chosen, I'm going to pick. I'm going to select which keycap set we use. I'm going to take these off, and then I'm going to select which keycap set we use. And we're going to pick Sky Dolch. I'm going to pick Sky Dolch because it's one of my favourite sets of all time. Let's start getting these keycaps off. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a little bit out of sorts here because I was not expecting these keys to be missing. These are all novelty keys. This is down Democracy Dies. Yeah. Like, I'm just really disappointed that some of these keys are missing because I take...
Tasty.
Thank you, Blackbrick, for the subscription. Thank you very much, man. I try and take really good care of which keys are in which sets and which I have and which I don't have and stuff. So the fact that keys are missing is highly concerning for me because the last time I put this on a board was a long time ago. So I don't know where they've gone. Unless there's another tub somewhere that... I don't know. It's a job for me and Mel tomorrow to try and figure out where the rest of these keys went. That's a little bit frustrating that there's some keys missing. Because there's at least a couple of caps lock keys missing. There's at least a couple of bottom row keys missing. It seems like the F key is missing. A couple of the numpad keys. Sorry, the num row keys. Sorry, I should say. I should be able to just pull these off. Actually, this might be faster. How many keys count as a collection? 3. If you have 3, you've got a collection. Hammerhead was second in the poll. Too late, man. Too late. What sets do I think would match the pink W1? I think something like I'd have to test the pinks out next to each other, but something like GMK Pristine with the Pretty in Pink kit that ran a couple of years ago for charity. I think that would look good. Fundamentals would look good, yeah. Noel. I think if you used Honeywell without accents, that would look quite good too. How many keeps count as a problem? One more than you have when you ask the question. So if you have 10 now, then it's 11. If you have 11, then it's 12. If you buy another one now and then ask the question again, then it's one more than that. It's always +1. N plus 1 is the answer to that question. No, Honeywell without accents is not quite the same as Fundamental. The grey's darker, so Fundamentals is definitely softer. Well, GMK Villanelle isn't out yet, so... I should be really using my keycap puller, but it's easy to just pull them off by fingers at times. Okay, so I'm really disappointed in that. I genuinely don't know where those keys could have gone. Like, we're so fastidious with keycap sets. They always go in the tubs. The tubs get sealed, and then they get labeled. That's just how it works. So the fact that the key's missing when Mel was only in this box set the other day, although Mel only took the keycaps that were on the Jane prototype. She only took those caps off, so there should have still been the in fact, no, the number key, she wouldn't have had the UK ISO one, so that wouldn't have been there. There's just the F key missing from what Mel would have touched, which just strikes me as weird that it's not here. And I don't know where the rest of the modifier keys are either. We still have the CCTV from the open day, so we can always go back and view and see if they've been dropped or something. Okay, right, on to Sky Dolch. We'll get Sky Dolch on. Let's start again and get Sky Dolch on the board. You watch, this won't have a numpad key or something. Unless it is a numpad key or something. I'm pretty sure it does, but we'll see. Right, okay. Accent enter, because why the hell not? Caps lock key. Don't need that. This is just Dolch with kind of like a teal blue accent, which is lovely. It's just, this is one of my favorite sets of all time, actually. I know I have a lot of favorite sets of all time, but this is up there. This is up there for me. And of course, it has UK ISO as well, which is great. A lot of the old time sets did used to have UK ISO in the standard, which is kind of cool. I think that's because a lot of the early community was actually driven by people in the UK as well. There's quite a lot of people in the UK in the early days of the hobby. Oops. Put the numpad keys to one side. Oh, I forgot this has got row 5 as well. We won't use row 5 because, well, the spacebar won't be row 5, but we do have row 5 if we want to use it. This is Sky Dolch. OG Sky Dolch. Sounds like a legit investigation. I don't think it's like a... I don't think anyone's walked off with the keys or anything. That's not what I'm saying. I just need to know where they are. So if it's that someone's put them in a different tub and stuff like that, like, we can just dig up the CCTV from the night and see where people were and where things went. That's all it is. It's not anything sinister. I know that people wouldn't have stolen them. Because why, if they were going to steal them, they'd take the whole key set. They wouldn't just take a few keys. That's the row 5 one. I'm not using row 5. Oh yeah, I forgot the got the I've got the W1-AT for this. We're not going to use them because I don't like them, but I do have those. We don't need that 0. Put the escape up here. We don't need the space bars. It shouldn't be Snicket, but thank you very much for pointing it out. I'll take a look. I'll have a look after the stream. Oh, I forgot we'd got accent caps lock. When was the last time you saw a set with accent caps lock? When was the last time you saw that? I don't remember seeing that for a long time. Accent caps locks. How long has that not been a thing for? Yeah, okay. I think what happens is the prices for pre-orders automatically gets bumped up when we know that the set's on the way to stop people buying them before it's taken out of stock. So, yeah, we shouldn't have anyone purchasing the pre-order rather than in stock. But I'll make sure it's corrected. Thank you for pointing out. I do appreciate it. Oh, that's row 5 as well. I don't want the row 5 versions. There we go. Wait, which way around did we put this? Yeah, that's it. What does it mean by accent? It means the colours are different. So this is an accent enter. So for example, we could put the beige enter here, sorry, the brown enter here, but we could also pick one of the other ones, and that's what we've done. I forgot this has got so many keys. It's had such a good base set. Assuming you like big base sets. Okay, starting to get there now. It's starting to look more like a keyboard layout. Don't need F11. Go. Okay. There we go. That's all of the keys on the board apart from the spacebar. Gotta love split right shift. Looks great, right? What happened to the pink? We didn't build the pink, Perlin. We didn't build pink. No one voted for the pink. Right, okay, so now we're going to get the spacebar. We're going to use the Dolch spacebar because this will match nicely. He says. Why is that not clicking to stabilize it? There we go. And there we go, guys. There we go. Rigged. Thoughts on keycap sets with lots of 5-sided dice up prints? It really depends. It can work alright. I think it would be hard to find a key set that didn't go well with the raw finish. Scooped F and J, really showing this lighting. This is a really well used set. I used this set for a year and a half solid. No one voted for pink. Lies. Not enough people voted for pink. Let's put it that way. Never understood why ANSI uses big boy left shift and big boy right shift. I mean, ANSI can use, well, ISO or ANSI can use split off full here. This is particularly ISO orientated layout. But yeah, it is what it is. So there we go, guys. This is the GeonWorks W1-AT raw case with fingerprints on it, wearing GMK Skydolch with a 10U spacebar. Look at that curve there. It's super nice. Fingerprints everywhere. A couple of small marks in the raw finish. But if we polish it up, it'll be nice. So there we go. This looks pretty good. I think we're going to polish this up rather than do anything else with it. Nice and raw. Should we see what she sounds like? I'm interested to hear this. Those marks all add character. Yeah, it's a couple of scratches. It was there when we took it out of the box earlier on. It's fine. Like it's raw. It's not supposed to be finished, so it's fine. Skydolch looks great. The fingerprints will annoy me as well. I'll get it all polished up. Right, let's. Where's the music on? Let's pause the music. It's where you guys tell me you haven't been able to hear it all day. Let's see what she sounds like. This looks super cool, right? Big boy spacebar. That sounds pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. The spacebar is huge, and it will take some getting used to. It looks great though, right? The spacebar's huge. Should we put a 7U next to it just so you can see? There we go. So this is normally what we call a big spacebar. That's a 7U spacebar. I think this is a 6.25. There's a 6.25U spacebar. There's the size differences. So there you go. That's the size difference of a 10U spacebar, guys. It's pretty big, right? No, just the standard one, Joe. Just the same one. Is it ABS that spacebar? Yeah, it's actually Dolch coloured. It's slightly mismatched to the keycaps because it didn't come with them. And this keycap set is very old. So this keycap set ran in 2015, 2016, I think. And it was one of the quicker turnaround times on GMK's front. So I think I had this key set in 2016. So I've had it for 6-7 years now. And this is a brand new spacebar. So the Dolch has just faded slightly, that's all. Mode Mist is different from Skydolch. It is very different, yeah. It's not the same at all. You versus the guy she tells you not to worry about. Maybe in your world, maybe. You can technically put a 10U on any wing keyless TKL as long as you have a PCB on the plate that supports it. Correct, yeah, I've got a 60% HHKB layout board with a 10U spacebar on it as well. I have multiple builds with 10U spacebars. This is not my first build with 10U spacebar. The only time a 250 gram spring would be functional. So this is true. For a long time, I used to have, I think it was called a KBD 61. I think that's what it was called. It was like 65%, and it had like angled sides, like really sloped, steep angled sides, and it was pink on the base. I think Bledin owns it now. It's pink on the base, and it was silver on the sides. And I built that with 125 gram springs, and I dailied that for maybe 6 months, like 125 gram springs. I dailied that for 6 months, and I didn't realize until I stopped using it that I was really hammering the keys. So yeah. But I have multiple boards with 10 new space bars. But this looks great. I think I don't know whether we're just going to polish this up, because I do like the mill marks on it. Maybe we'll just clear coat it. Maybe we'll polish it so we get the scratches and scuffs out of it, and then maybe we'll clear coat it. I don't know. Or maybe we'll Cerakote it. Maybe we'll try Cerakoting it. I don't know. I have got most of the Cerakoting equipment now, so maybe we'll give that a go. I don't know. We'll see. I just need a light sandblast, and then we'll Cerakote it. We'll see. I haven't decided yet. But yeah, it just looks pretty cool. But look at that. Look at that. See, this is one of the marks that's in it. It's not actually a scratch in it. There's no scratch there, but you can see there's a mark there. I think there's one just underneath the front there as well. Yeah, just underneath the front. It's just more like, it's like someone's fingernails or something scratched that there. It's like, it's not even, like, you can't actually feel it. Like, it's not actually there. So I think that'll polish out straight away. But it looks super cool. It looks really cool. Pretty happy with that. Yeah, I think a light sandblast and can't imagine what Shubes and his cursed hands would do to this finish. Well, look how much my hands have ruined it. Look at what my hands have done. I don't think this is clear coated in any way. I'm pretty sure it's just the raw alu. Yeah, look, you can see the original. So this mark here, so you can see there's like a jagged edge. That's just like the stain from where it's been polished. That's all. So yeah, it's just going to have stuff like that on it. Look, there you go. You can see that nicely there. That's just part and parcel of having raw aluminium. So there we go. That's the build. If you guys have got any questions on the build, let me know now. But just to remind you guys, GMK Dots is in stock, GMK Dandy is in stock. Go buy them while you can, as well as the Ramas and desk mats and accessories as well, because they're only on offer at 10% off for 48 hours. So 6 PM on Tuesday, those will be back to full price. Loads of stuff coming in stock this week. We've got loads of Rama artisans and Hebe artisans and stuff like that going in stock as well. So if you're into that kind of thing, take a look out for that. I think I'm going to sell my pink one of these. Pretty much dead certain going to sell it. I think I know what colour I want to do this now. I think we're going to do this Dolce. Like, the more I think about it, let it percolate in the back of my mind. I think we're going to Cerakote this Dolce. I think that's what we're going to do. So we'll see how that goes. Oh, how heavy is the board? Let me see if I can grab some scales. Let me see if I can get the scales. Just underneath the GMK Zooted samples. Right, okay. Okay, scales are on. So this is the weight of the board. So it is 5 pounds 13 ounces, which in grams it's 2.63 kilograms, 2.64 kilograms. So 2.64 kilograms. Yeah, it's just the sample caps for GMK Zooted. I shouldn't really show you these, but these are the prototype caps from GMK for GMK Zooted, or some of them anyway. I just happened they were just literally on top of the scales. So anyway, you didn't see those. We didn't talk about those. Do you know what? I just had a really cool idea. I've had a really cool idea that we could do if we build up one of the spare PCBs and plates for this. So I have like 3 PCBs and plates. So even if I sell one of these boards, I still have plenty left over. I've just had the craziest idea. What if, for the spacebar area, we do something a little bit different? Let me prep something here real quick off camera. What if? Sorry, not the spacebar area. What if for the numpad area? I mean, what if we do something a little bit different for the numpad area? What if we do? What if we do that and have these as 1 new keys? Oh, we should have built the board like this. These are 2x2 relegendables. What do you guys think? Should we do this? Should we rebuild this board? Should we rebuild this board and do 4 2x2 U keycaps and then put 1 U's on the bottom row? Because these are just relegendable keycaps, right? These are just 2x2 relegendable keycaps. Like, should we do this? Absolutely should do it. Do it. That's stupid. Do it. Should we do that? Okay, okay. I need a poll, right? I need a poll. Let me do a poll. Let me set up a poll. Right, okay. Poll is going up, guys. Poll is going up. 3 minutes. I'll put the music back on. Poll's up. Let's see what you guys want to do. Let's see what you guys want to do. The poll's up. Should we create this monstrosity on stream right now? Yeah, like there's not much to do, right? Because all I need to do is desolder that switch and that switch. And pop the stabs out and put the 4 switches in, right? It's not much to do. It's quite simple to do, right? Oh, and this one here as well. So I need to desolder 3 switches, which I can go and turn on the desoldering machine. Take a break, take a toilet break, a comfort break, get a drink, and all that kind of stuff. You guys can give me 5 minutes, and then we can come back and we could do that quite quickly, right? Oh, I do have more relegendables. I have plenty of relegendables. I am the relegendables king. Yeah, I have a desoldering machine. Yeah. Should we do this? What do you guys think? We need at least like 35 votes for me to do this. I think like that's what we need. Like we could make the monstrosity. Like, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? In fact, let's do it like that, right? I don't know what made me think of this. Do these have an orientation? I don't think so. Done 1k points on it. I don't know what made me even think of doing this. But I think this might be a winner, right? Do 3... No, I don't want to do the 1U keys on the middle of the numpad. What? Because I really like relegendables. Okay, now on stream. Right, okay. It looks so cursed, I love it. It's about to be a cursed board. Right, okay, I'm going to take, like, a quick break. GMK Zooted hasn't been made yet. Like, it's still in manufacturing. I had these made. That's why I've got so many of them. NAS, why not? You're missing the important point here. Why not? Okay. Right, I'm going to take a quick comfort break for a few minutes, okay? Whilst I take a comfort break for a couple of minutes, I think I want you guys to put suggestions in chat what we can print off to put under these. All 6 of them. I want you guys to put in chat what you think we should put on them, okay? Suggestions, links to images, that kind of stuff. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back in a few minutes after I've taken a break and desoldered this, okay? In fact, let's get the PCB and plate out right now. Let's get the PCB and plate out. let's get the PCB and plate out, and then I'll take the break. I'll go and desolder them super duper quickly. But I want you guys to suggest what we should put. A picture of an ISO key. Like, I probably won't have time to make them today, but I will make the meme keys, whatever you guys suggest, tomorrow, and take some pictures for you. I'll put it up on Discord and on Instagram. Glasses face. I'd have to ask Glasses if he'd be okay with that. I'm pretty sure he would be. A screenshot of Mel and her keycap persuader. Okay. Blackbook just cheered 300 bits. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. What does it say? I'd like 6 famous mats, please. 6 famous mats. Okay, right. I'm going to take this. I'm just going to pop it out. I'm going to go desolder the relevant switches. Take a break for a few minutes. Take a comfort break. And then when I come back, we'll make it a monstrosity. Okay? Give me a few minutes, guys. I won't be long. See you soon. Hey guys, I'm back. I hope you guys are ready for the madness that is about to ensue, because I've taken out the stabilizers and the switches, and it's now time to grab some more switches to make our little monstrosity. So, let's see what we can do about that. I think I'm gonna have to do these switches one at a time, just so I can get them in place. So let's do that now. Okay. Nothing says preference like more than 6 2x2 relegendables, right? Don't let your dreams be memes, right? Okay, so we're just going to do these one at a time. Shouldn't take too long, even though there's a few switches to do. There's only a few. Oh, we'll look at fixing the D switch as well, because we know that that doesn't work. I think we just missed a solder joint, but I haven't checked it yet. So we'll do that as well. Okay, that's 2 of the switches done. This is switch number 3. The things we do on stream, right? Pretty sure this should be illegal. This feels like it's an illegal move. Okay, so we're almost there now. Just 3 more switches to go. Now we've got 2 more switches to go. I think it was the V. What V? Thought it was the B that didn't work. We'll check both of them anyway in a second. Okay, last switch to go. And before someone reports me to the keyboard police for ruining this perfectly good... Oh, sugar. We've missed the switch out. Look. Ruining this perfectly good keyboard layout with something so untoward and silly as 6 relegendables. Okay, there we go, that's good. Okay, last switch in. Right, let's see. ZXCV. Let's refill this one as well. Okay, we've refilled the 2 switches that could have been the issue. V and B. Sorry. Will you rust? That's an interesting question. So, rust is an interesting one. So, rust, as you think of it, that brown substance that you see on steel, aluminium doesn't really rust, but it does oxidize, which is what rust is in steel. Now, when aluminium oxidizes, it gets like a white powdery stuff on it. But when we anodize stuff, it's actually us dyeing the oxidized layer. So oxidization sometimes destroys the metal that it's made of. Sometimes it protects it. It kind of gives it a protective barrier. Lithium is a really good example of that. You can cut it and you can see it's really clean and shiny. Then all of a sudden it goes dull. But like on steel, it ruins the metal. On aluminium, it kind of protects it. So you kind of want aluminium to oxidize. And what we do is we call that anodization. We force it to oxidize faster. And then we dye that oxidization as we're doing it. And that's what anodization is. So there you go. I've really oversimplified that, by the way. So whilst I've just given you an explanation, it's a very oversimplification. But that's broadly what's happening. Right, let's get the keycaps on. And then we'll pop the board back together. This is so cursed. This is so cursed. Right, and then we need some keycaps for the bottom row. So let's see what keycaps we want to use for the bottom row here. Oh, do you know what we could do? Do you know what we could do? I've got the perfect idea for this. We're going to use row 5 keys. I'm going to try and find them now. Let's not throw keycaps on the floor, Jay. Let's behave ourselves. Right. Let's see if we can find the other keys I want to use for here. So these keys that we're using are actually GMK row 5, which if you've never used row 5, it's a really steep bottom row. So most bottom rows are row 4, but we're going to use row 5. Let me see if I can show you an example of what the difference between row 5 is. Okay, so on a numpad, you have the numpad enter, right? That makes nice and sense. That's how tall it is at the bottom. This is row 5. So this is row 4, this is row 5. Look at the height. These are the same key for the same place. Look at the height difference. That's what we're using for the bottom of this. We're going to use row 5 keys. But what I want to do is I want to kind of be silly with it. There we go, look. Let's use the Windows keys and the down and up arrows. Where's the up arrow? Have I already put it in here? I don't already put it in there. I think I've already put it in there. I was looking for 2 down arrows, but that would be silly. Okay. Let's see if we can find this up arrow. It must be here somewhere. I don't want another set with keys missing. That would be very frustrating. I found the up arrow that wasn't row 5. Just need to find the row 5 one now. I found left and right. We could use left and right, I suppose. There is an up arrow. I know there is. Okay, I think we're going to have to use left and right keys because I can't find the up arrow for row 5 here, but I know it exists. Nope. Right, we'll just pop that one off and we'll use the left and right, but let's put them the wrong way around because why not? There we go. I feel better now we've built it as a mean layout. I really do. It really makes me feel good. What's going on? This is the layout for the board. This is how we're building this particular version of the F1-AT. Sorry, the W1-AT. Very ooh-woo of you. well, good sir, I know. Okay, let's pop the PCB and plate back together. Sorry, the PCB and top case. Let's push this all back in place. That's popped out. Where's that popped out from? There. Okay, let's put the GST back in. Let's flip that over. And then let's pop the screws back in. We're going to go diametrically opposed for the screws here as always, just to keep it nice and tight and even across the layout of the board. There we go. Yeah, I'll take some nice pictures tomorrow. I'll give the board a little polish when I get into the workshop tomorrow, and I'll print off some of your suggestions for what should go into the re-legendable keycaps. But I'm pretty happy with how this looks. Feet back in. Okay, and here we go, guys. Here is my cursed layout W1-AT with macro keys here. And then our special numpad with row 5. Look how much taller row 5 is than the standard row profile, right? This is row 4 here on the control key. Look how much taller row 5 is. What do we think, guys? Thanks, I hate it. I love it, right? How cool is that? Look. Meme. There we go. Maybe we should have it on like a soundboard. We have the arrows. There you go, the arrow keys. The Windows keys. R5 is almost as tall as MT3. Yeah. Does MT 2x2 kind of fit the industrial look? Yeah, I don't disagree. I've got a load of lube stabilizers now. Nothing to do with. We spent so long lubing stabilizers for this and we don't need them. Let's just test and see if that B key is now fixed. Let's just test that actually. Because if it's not, I'll probably need to go and grab another diode. Let's just see. Okay, let's right. So this is gonna it activates all of them. There you go. Look at that, look what it activates. That's so silly. Right, okay. Control, space. Yeah, that all works. Okay, so D still doesn't work. Let's see if we can fix D really quickly. I think we fixed V and B, and it was D that we should have looked at. Right, okay, let's see if we can fix that really quickly. Easy rage chat buttons, right? I love it. I love it. I'll have to think of some actual macros to use for those tomorrow. I want to see your guys' suggestions in the Discord though. Tag me tomorrow with what you guys think I should, like, what you guys think I should print off for it. Let's see if we can fix the B key really quickly though. I'm hoping I just didn't solder it. Just map B to a re-legendable. Can you imagine? Yeah, it was D you needed to fix. All right, thanks, Anas. Thanks for telling me now. Gotta love the memes, right? Give me a silly layout. I'll build you a silly keyboard. I think that's all of those unscrewed. Let's just make sure they come out. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Right, let's see if we can just fix this really quickly without having to undo everything. So what did we say wasn't working? D. I can see what's wrong with it. The diode was never soldered on the bottom half. So the diode's just here. And this particular diode was never soldered on the bottom half of it, like when it was picked and placed. So just a manufacturing defect. It's easy fix though. Okay, we should now be all set up and running. That should now fix the D key. Let's bob the board back together and we'll find out. If this doesn't fix the D key, I'll just fix it tomorrow. But that should be okay now. Yeah, if you've subscribed on here, Trueblaze, if you've subscribed on Twitch, then on Discord, make sure your Twitch account is linked to your Discord account. That's in your personal account settings. And then all you need to do is go through to my Discord server, and it should give you the subscriber role automatically. And then you'll be able to see the subscriber-only chat. Sometimes we do subscriber-only giveaways and things like that. And of course, subscribers get early access to see what I'm selling from my personal collection as well. So nothing that's like needed, but you might see some stuff that I don't share in public, or semi don't share in public. I suppose it's still sharing it in public in those chats, but it's kind of like semi not public, right? Oh gosh, I thought I could smell burning. I could. My soldering iron slipped out and melted the lid. I thought I could look. We melted the lid. Always pay attention to burning smells, guys. That could be dangerous. Okay. The meme W1-AT is almost ready to go. Let's see if that fixes the D key. All fixed. All fixed. There we go. Boom. So there we go, guys. That is the F1-AT. Sorry, why is it F1-AT? It's a W1-AT meme edition. And I'll print off some relegendable ideas for the caps tomorrow. But there you go. That is our meme pad. The F1-AT meme pad. It's just a meme macro pad, right? It's so big I have to move it side to side to show off. It's beautiful. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. We built the best keyboards on this channel. I mean, have you ever seen such perfection as this. I mean, what's not to love? 10U spacebar, no numpad, and instead we replace it with four 2x2 caps. The macro column is now this genius implementation of relegendable 2x2s and OSU pad in the middle. Look, dedicated OSU pad. Look, there you go. We have a dedicated OSU pad surrounded by our voice chat activation buttons, or whatever, meme spamming buttons, whatever you want to call them. We have a lovely standard 60% keyboard in the center with the amazing 10U spacebar. A 10U spacebar is clearly superior to every other spacebar, right? I mean, it's 10U. Instead of it being 6U or 6.25 or even 7U, this is 3 whole U more. That means it's 3 better, right? So it's 3 better. So we have an OSU pad with meme spamming buttons either side. We have a standard 60%, which you can use for every little bit of keyboard typing you need. And then we have a dedicated shit pad. We have a dedicated shit pad to spam the shit out of Discord servers. Function keys, meme keys. The shit pad, the OSU custom macro pad, and the 60%, all in Gion's W1-AT. Yeah, so a 7U spacebar, and then we have a 10U spacebar. That's 3 better. It's 3 times as good. Simple math, right? What do we think? Do we think that this is perfection? Do we think this keyboard is perfection? I'm pretty sure it's close to it. It's what the creator himself envisaged. The creator himself didn't envisage anything as good as this. The shit pad on the side, the custom OSU pad, and a 60%. There we go. What do you think, guys? That's too many U's for one man. I'm sure Gion is glad. Gion will look at this and he will see the truth. He will see that this is a thing of beauty. This is the best looking you can get at W1-AT. Purely because of the layout we've selected today. We have provided pure genius input into keyboard layouts everywhere. Mark my words, you will see this layout on other streamers' builds going forwards. Other people will copy this. Other people will copy this. You will see this on every streamer's desk soon because it's an unbeatable layout. Like, it's just perfection. Look at that. Look at that. I need to send this to Oddseye Obsessions or Quirdanchor to get them to take some cool pictures. Adam, oh shush. Just shush. What do I call this layout? This is the God layout. There we go. The perfection that is Jay's W1-AT. This is, you have tiers, right? If you were going to do a tier list, right? If you were going to do a tier list of keyboards, there isn't a high enough setting for this layout. There is not enough settings for this layout. Like there is no, like, S tier. What's above S tier? That's this. That's this. There is nothing else. And with that, I don't have anything more to add to the stream. We have built perfection, guys. We have achieved nirvana. We have the shit pad, the OSU custom macro pad, a 60% with 10U spacebar. I don't know how we can get better than this. I don't know how we can beat this. Static Age, hey man, good to see you, dude. We've created the God layout. This is the God layout. This is the God layout. Look at that for pure perfection. What else could you need? What else could you need? Like, seriously, what else could you need? Like, seriously, look at this. You have a 60% with a 10U spacebar. That's genius. That's pure genius. But not only that, you have a ship pad, which you can have 4 custom keys with 2 Windows keys and 2 arrow keys. The 40s Discord has got nothing on this, let's be honest. And then you have the custom OSU pad, or ship pad Mark II, whatever you want to call it. Mark my words, right, before the end of this week, you're going to see an IC for someone making this as a macro pad. You are going to see an IC for that as a macro pad. Guarantee by the end of this week, that's what you'll see. You'll see someone post an IC on GeekHack for that as a macro pad. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Someone is going to post that on GeekHack as an IC for a macro pad. Guarantee either that or that. And I guarantee that other streamers with these boards, they're going to build it this way. Like, someone else is going to build this. That I see is going to be me. It's not, like, seriously, someone will do it by the end of it. I almost guarantee, like, within a week. Like, if I take pictures and post this on Instagram, within a week, someone will make that macro pad like that there. Someone call the 40s Discord and tell them they failed, because this is perfection. In the future, can we do an ortho board with only 2x2 relegendables? Yeah, sure. In 12 months, the main drama will be where to add the row of 1 new keys. There won't be 1 new keys. Why would you need 1 new keys? I would buy that, and one of those buttons would be lead meeting. End call. End call. What more do you need? What more do you need? Like, you can't miss it. It's end call. End call. Done, right? This is a god tier layout. It's a god tier layout. Snicket, maybe we don't sell you the pink one. Maybe I build another one of these with god tier Mark II. Maybe that's what's going to happen. I don't know. Those vintage win keys alone puts this at god tier. Yeah, row 5 is cool. Row 5 is cool. The 2U caps are good as well. I've actually got some non-relegendable ones as well, but the relegendable ones are better because we can do all sorts. What's going to happen is adding another row to have 2 more relegendables. No, that would ruin this because you need modifier keys for it, right? Like, think about this. Like, look at this. You've got 4 times 4. You could have each one of these set to a layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, layer 4. That gives you 16 different options for these. 16 different options. You can have whatever meme you want, and you can have 16 of them. 16 easy access memes. The ship pad. I guarantee that's what we should call it. This is the ship pad layout, right? Someone's going to do an interest check for it. I almost guarantee it. Someone will see this next week and do an interest check for it. So 24 switch macro pad for 6 keys. What's wrong with that? You sell me some 2x2 legendables, one with a pink one, and I build it like that. I tell you what, Snicket, right? Okay, here's the deal. Because you asked first, like before anyone else, if you could buy whichever one I didn't build today. You did ask that. Like, you have that. You have first refusal. You can slide into Mel's DMs. If you do buy it, right, I might not have them to send to you straight away, but I will give you for free 6 of these keys. If you buy it off Mel, I will give you 6 of these keys, but only if you promise to use this layout, the God layout, GAWD, the God layout, with the ship pad on the side. You have to build it that way. That's the only rule. No, cheese lover. These are relegendable keycaps. So they're keycaps that you can put your own legends underneath. Yeah. The GAWD layout, the God layout. Right. Okay. I don't know what else I can add to this stream because, like, we've reached perfection. We built the perfect keyboard. I don't know what else we can do. Like, I don't know what else it can do. Yeah, I had these custom made. Like, you can get them from certain places. I had these custom made a while back. I had 100 made for some close friends. They've all gone now. I had like 20 of my own left, and I've got like another 5 or 6 in the drawer. But that's it. I had to have them. It's time to exit the hobby. You've done it all. I don't know how anyone's going to beat this. I really don't. I don't know how anyone's going to beat this. If only we asked if we could do it and never stopped to ask if we should. Well, we didn't ask, and now we've created perfection. So there we go. This stream's gone from like building a board seriously to building the biggest meme in the hobby. It's fun though. I'm gonna daily this board. Like seriously, I'm gonna daily this for like a week. Mel's gonna curse me. Mel's gonna come into the office tomorrow and say, "What the fuck is that?" Like that's what she's gonna do. She's gonna come in. She's gonna look at the desk and she's gonna go, "Where the fuck is my TKL?" That's what she's gonna say. You achieved 42. We should always do it, right? Anyway, there we go. That's the God layout, GAWD layout. I know Adam hates it. I'm sorry, Adam. I hope you'll come around to seeing how perfect this is, because this is pure perfection. Ship pad on the side, custom OSU pad, 60% with a 10U space bar. What's not to love, guys? What is not to love? Right, okay. With that, it's time for me to head home, get some sleep, because it's like 11:30. Science point to no. Wait, are you a Magic 8 Ball now? Can we give you a shake-up? The Cult of Gold? Insta story, Melrex. Oh, dude. Right, I'm not... Okay, so I can't do that, JQ. I wish I could. I have an errand to run tomorrow morning that I can't do until 9 AM. And Mel will be here at 9 AM, so I can't do that. I can't do that. But, yeah. I wish I could. But if anyone else has a W1-AT, I want to see you build it like this. I will. Do you know what? I'm going to order like a ton of these keycaps so that people can buy them. 2x2U keycaps. I'm going to order them tonight. Send it off to the manufacturer. Get them made. I'll get them in stock. Yeah, I prefer the God Squad. The God Squad. I prefer that to the God Cult. I don't like using Cult because of Key Cult and people just refer back to that. But yeah, the God Squad. I like that. Spelt that way as well. GAWD SKWAD. I like that. But I wish I could do the Mel React story. Oh, can you? Can you? I didn't know they had them in stock. I don't know who Ceratech are, but yeah. I'll get some in stock and I'll sell. I think we can. I think based on the price I got for these, we can probably sell them for like £1 each. I think that's all it'll be. JQ, you have to do this. You have to. Like, you have to. It's simple as that. Adam, I'm sorry, man, but you have to build it this way. You have to build it this way. It's the law. It is now the rule. That's what you have to do. Right, guys, thank you so much for watching. It is time for me to head off home. I need to get some sleep. It's like 11:30 or something like that. I need to go home, get some sleep, because I've got to be up early. Like, I can't do my errand in the morning till 9 o'clock, but then I want to be here as soon as possible, so yeah. Right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate every single one of you being here. Thank you so much. Thank you for all the subs, likes, bits, whatever you guys dropped. I really appreciate it, more than I can tell you. Check out on Instagram tomorrow. I'm going to post some pictures of this tomorrow. If you guys send it in Discord, you can join the Discord down here. If you tell me what we should put on these relegible keys, I will print some off tomorrow at some point when I get 5 minutes, and I'll make them. I'll make whatever you tell me to do. So, yeah, thanks very much for watching, guys. I'll see you all tomorrow on Instagram or in the Discord. Take care. Have a great night. Have a good night's sleep. Thanks very much for being here. And go buy Jim K Dots and Jim K Dandy. Bye-bye.